Snapshot.
The Mariners get back to it tonight at T-Mobile Park. They send George Kirby to the hill in Game 2 of this series. He faces off against Gavin Williams. 6:45 first pitch right here at Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, one game going on right now in baseball in San Francisco. No score between the Yankees and the Giants. Yankees took Game 1 of that series. Still to come, the Blue Jays will host the A's for their season opener. It's the Marlins and Rockies, Royals and Braves in Atlanta, Astros and Angels, along with the Padres and Tigers and Dodgers hosting the Diamondbacks. Meanwhile, some news coming out of the world of golf. Tiger Woods was involved in a rollover crash on Jupiter Island, Florida today, according to the Martin County Sheriff's Office. No details about the cause of the crash or Woods' condition were immediately released by the Sheriff's Office. They are investigating, and they are scheduled to speak with reporters at 2 o'clock Pacific time.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Happy Friday to everybody out there on another beautiful day for baseball. We are live at Victory Hall. Mariners getting set for Game 2 against the Cleveland Guardians. George Kirby on the hill tonight, so looking forward to that matchup. The text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. If you guys want to weigh in on what you saw in last night's season opener, and we'll get into all the details of that coming up in just a little bit. The voice of your Seattle Mariners, Rick Rizzs, will join us here live at Victory Hall. We're going to catch up with Paul Moyer for our weekly conversation at 3 o'clock. At 4 p.m., Gary Hill will join us live from the booth. That's where those guys do it. They don't come over here. Riz will, because he's a guy. He's a dude. But, you know, that Ryan Rowland-Smith, that Aaron Goldsmith, that Gary Hill, guys of that ilk, guys of that upper echelon, they wouldn't think to be caught dead around the common unwashed around here. So they'll join us from a distance.
I don't think Gary Hill Jr. has ever been too big for his britches.
His britches
ever in his life
are squeezing him to death. He's way too big these days.
No way. No way. Ryan Rowland-Smith and Goldie, yeah, maybe.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
That makes perfect
but
sense.
Yeah, we get him a golf cart ride over here, can't we?
I'm certain they could do something. What's going on? This mic seems to be kind of dead for a second. It kind of goes quiet and then it picks up. I don't know what's going on with it.
Hey, Tiger Woods has been in a car crash before, right?
Yeah, I think out in front of his house, and then his wife at the time then beat his car senseless with a club.
Yeah, and then there was another one in L.A., I think.
In an accident, I remember he got pulled over when he was very intoxicated and wasn't quite certain, I don't think, which state he was in at the time, if I recall correctly. But, yeah, that's a weird story. They haven't released any details about how he's doing, what caused it. They just said he's involved in a rollover accident. So you hope he's okay, obviously.
Obviously, yeah. I'm not making light of it. But, like, maybe he should go the route of, like, Cal Raleigh and Adam Ray.
Have a driver.
Get yourself a driver.
Yeah. Adam's big stuff, man. He had a suite last night.
Of course he did.
So I went to pay him a visit, and then just hanging out in the suite with him is his good buddy Dave Matthews.
Wow. He is living the dream, man.
It's just hilarious. I just love how he there'll be somebody he looks up to or likes, or really, actor, musician, whoever, athlete, and then you fast forward a month, 2 later, it's their best friend.
You know, what's weird, what always stands out to me, I remember Adam Ray the first time that we were down at spring training, and we had to get him in the door.
That's right.
And so then he became, like, such good friends with everybody around there that it was like he was getting us, like, interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget one time in the very beginning, we let him in, and I thought maybe he's coming on a little too strong because he sees George Kirby, and he's like, George Kirby, living legend. Yeah. And Kirby looks over at him and smiles.
Yeah, he doesn't do that very much.
Yeah, and so I'm like, well, and also he didn't have any idea who Adam Ray was.
Yeah.
I don't think at the time. So
maybe we have not approached George in the right way. Maybe that's how we need to go up to him and approach him at his locker and go, "Hey, Mr. Living Legend, would you have a moment to talk to us?" Maybe that's the right route.
I don't know, man. There's something about Adam that that's one of the reasons why he's so successful. That like people just. They sort of just flock to him for whatever reason.
They really do.
It's kind of hard to put your finger on it. I mean, obviously he's funny. Okay, maybe he's handsome. I don't know. Maybe he's not handsome. But, yeah, I mean, he just has like
feeling weird about saying that. Now he's going to try to pivot.
Well, I don't want him to get wind of that. So
it's too late. He'll know.
But, man, was he dressed up as Ron Donnelly by any chance?
No, he was not.
He wasn't.
He was not. But
he
did send us a bunch of pictures of him doing he's doing a Netflix series of like 30 episodes where he's in character in some he's himself, but he's doing one with John Schneider and Mike McDonald. Yeah. And that's why he was at the VMAC the other day. He was filming it and he sent us a bunch. Did you take a look at the pictures?
I saw those, yeah.
A bunch of the pictures of him talking to them, and they're cracking up in every picture. They're laughing.
Well, we were interviewing Schneider. He walks by just the doorway, and John had to like turn and hide his face so he wouldn't laugh out loud. But
yeah, very funny. But
have we prolonged 7 minutes after the hour, and now we'll talk about the loss last night.
Yeah, look, it's not how you want to start, and I saw, of course, classic overreaction on social media and all of that. It's like, man, if only you had more games to play to make up for this, like 161 of them.
I heard Bump saying that people are tripping on Logan Gilbert.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
What were they on the text line?
Yeah, he just said they were tripping. And I imagine that it's, why is he starting off? Logan Gilbert's always been this, that, and the other. Like,
that's
calm
funny.
down.
I got to tell you, it's interesting to hear you say tripping.
Do I make it sound cool, Bob?
You make it sound,
I think it
sounds really, really natural.
I love it when Bump says it. Okay. Do you want me to spell it out next time instead of saying it?
I think you should just throw that in every once in a while when you read some of the mean text, which we'll do today at 5:15. We're off at 5:30, right? 5:15. We'll do mean text.
Did Matt get us that? Matt got us an extra half hour?
That's an earlier fantastic. First pitch tonight.
That's what I would think.
Got to turn it over to the pregame show.
That's what you get when I produce. Less work.
That's right. Lefko just creates more work for us.
Yeah.
Mean text coming up, 866-979-3776. If you're somebody that's been tripping about Logan Gilbert.
You made it sound way better, Bob.
If you're tripping on what you saw last night from Logan Gilbert, please, if you're feeling some type of way, text in. Let us know. Hey, we're hip. We can talk it through, and we'll get you off the ledge.
I like Bob's dorky white guy imitation. It's solid. Solid.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was referring to there. Look, Logan wasn't great. He wasn't awful. He was, 7 strikeouts, no walks, 5 1/3. It was kind of what we saw last year where he piled up the strikeouts. He was, that was huge for him last year, but you're striking out that many guys, you're throwing a lot of pitches, so it doesn't allow you to go that deep into games, which is what he did the year previous when he led the league in innings pitched. So it was kind of reminiscent of what we saw from Logan last year, where he goes 5 1/3, gave up 3 runs. He wasn't razor sharp by any stretch, but he the strikeouts are piling up. He wasn't giving free passes. It's game one. I don't want to overreact to any positive or negative. It's let these guys find their rhythm and see what they're going to do. Because if we're gonna judge them on everybody on this one game, the whole middle of the lineup stinks, and it's going to be a disaster if that's how we're going to view it. Because Cal and Julio and Naylor and Randy, between all of them, had 1 hit.
Yeah,
this team struck out 14 times last night.
Well, maybe you and I should have predicted that those guys had big games, because the guys that we talked about did have good games. You talked about Luke Raley.
Yeah.
And I talked about Dom Canzone. And, great start for those two. But, to me, it didn't really, worry me or anything like that. I was just like, every once in a while, the pitch count for Logan Gilbert, 86. So, I don't know. I think people would be tripping if they're talking about not taking Logan Gilbert out of the, I don't know, moving him down in the lineup, whatever, or the rotation, whatever.
Yeah, look, if he went out there and threw a gem, they go, see, I told you he's an ace. Told you he should be the opening day starter.
Hey, look, one of our favorite people is sitting down here. Oh, he's looking behind him. It's you, Rick.
It's the legend Rick Rizzs here with us live on
guys.
set at the at Victory Hall.
David.
How are you, man?
I'm doing fine. Maddie over there, Brent over here. It's great, man. It's nice to see you guys.
It's great to see you. Saw you last night. It was cool to be up there in the booth as you were getting the ovation. He was on the big screen. The crowd goes nuts. He's like the mayor up there. He's waving,
I tried
waving
to do
everybody.
the hard thing with my arms. I didn't do a very good job. And then I just went with the hand thing.
There you go.
Yeah, but it was very nice. Overwhelming. So kind. Oh, my goodness.
Are you soaking up every moment? Are you trying to say, like, here's my last opening day as a broadcaster? You'll be here after this, but were you trying to really be in the moment?
No doubt about it. I'm soaking up every drop. I've said that since day one of spring training. You know, this is my last year after 52 years of broadcasting baseball and 44 in the big leagues. So you take everything in. And, David, you know what it's like to call it an end or see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I just want to find out what the next chapter is for me. But I want to take in everything I can this year, and I know it's going to be a fabulous season because there's a ball club that can do it.
Yeah.
There's no question they could do it in my mind, and I think they will do it. So I'm going to really enjoy every second, the wins, the losses, and everything in between.
Well, we were talking about the game right as you sat down, and I know there was part of me. First of all, the leadoff home run from Donovan, just amazing.
How about that?
And love that, just because whenever you make those trades, you're kind of like, we'll see if this works out, and that was pretty awesome. But then also, Bob and I talked about some of the lesser known guys like Canzone and Luke Raley, and that those two guys came up huge.
Yeah,
so a lot to like.
With Canzone, he's got the ability to do that. I mean, this guy is strong.
Yeah.
He hit for an average last year. He hit 300 and limited playing time, 11 home runs. But we see what he's got in him. Watching what he did last night, the 2 home runs. So he can do that. He's going to hit for power and hit for average. With Luke Raley, it's just a matter of being healthy. He had the oblique, and that takes a long time. That's a month, and then it takes another few weeks to come back after you sit out because you miss so much time. So I felt for him last year. He always had this heat pack wrapped around his waist, try to take care of the injury. But now he's healthy. I mean, I saw him at spring training, had a long home run just to the right of the batter's eye. But prior to that, the day before, he had a home run to the opposite field and left. And when you're doing that, you're getting behind the ball and, driving the ball, getting that backspin. I go, this guy's healthy when he can do that. I mean, he's a big, strong guy. He's going to really help out, hitting the ball out of the ballpark, driving in runs, and, spending time out there in right field with Victor Robles or wherever he's out there. So I'm just happy the guy's healthy. He's happy, and he's going to have a big season.
What was that moment like for you? Well, let's hear it. By the way, I think we've got your call on Donovan's game, leadoff home run to introduce himself to the Seattle fan base here.
He's the leadoff hitter for your ball club. The windup and the pitch on the way to Donovan. Swinging a well-hit ball deep to right field. Stay fair, stay fair. It is gone. Goodbye, baseball. Welcome to Seattle. Brendan Donovan. In his first at-bat in the Mariners uniform. Ties the game at 1-1. Can you believe that?
How about that call?
I love it.
How are we not going to hear that voice anymore?
Come on. It reminded me of Cal's home run when he put us in the playoffs in 22 because I said the same thing, stay fair, stay fair. It was just right down the right field line, underneath the Hit It Here Cafe, and he did it. What a storybook beginning. Normally a storybook end, but a storybook beginning for one of the nicest guys I've met in the game of baseball. He's a great dude, and an outstanding ball player. It was a huge pickup by the Mariners to get Brendan Donovan as a third baseman. He won a Gold Glove as an all-star last year. The guy can hit. He's going to hit for an average. But to start off like that, I mean, that's stuff that, movie scripts, I've been written about. I was so happy for him last night to get started like that because all of a sudden the fan base, you fall in love with the fan base, he falls in love with the fan base, and the fan base falls in love with him. So it's a great start.
Yeah, after we talked to him, we were like, Mariner fans are going to love this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not so much, obviously it's about the production and him coming out with a great way to start off the season. But once they start to realize, that you have that kind of leadership, whether it's on the plane or the bus or in the clubhouse, that this guy just brings so much more just based on his personality and his character.
No doubt about it. And he leads by example, by what he does prior to a ball game. I watched him at spring training. Playing third base, he's going to strengthen up his arm. He played a lot of second base, with the St. Louis Cardinals, but he can play third base, obviously. But he's up against that wall at spring training with that heavy ball, that heavy rubber ball, throwing it, for like a half an hour, working up against that wall to do one thing, strengthen his arm, because he wants to do a good job over at third base. And that trickles down to everybody. When you see a veteran guy like that put in that kind of effort to get ready for the season each and every ball game, if you're sitting in that clubhouse and you're watching this guy, and we got other guys, obviously, that do that too, Cal Raleigh and the other guys as well, many other guys, as a young player, you go, I want to be that guy. Yeah. I can't, fluff off and expect to be a successful major leaguer. I got to put in my work, and this guy puts in the work. He's a baller. He's a gamer. He's a dirt bag. By that I mean, he's able to, dive and get dirty and do whatever he can to win a ball game for the Seattle Mariners. And I think this guy is going to have a tremendous year. I love this guy.
Yeah, he throwing a double for him as well. I mean, just a great night for him.
Yeah.
To introduce himself to the fan base. It just was really cool to see that. I thought one thing that was interesting, I don't know if you saw that as well, but as they're doing the introductions and they're all coming down the pink carpet and everything, I thought Naylor had the biggest reception of everybody. Yeah. Did he not? He comes out with a trident.
Yeah.
Above Cal, I thought the loudest ovation was for Naylor, which had you ever seen anybody come to the team that wasn't brought up with the team in your history with this organization that sort of ingratiated themselves to the fan base as quickly and in the manner that Naylor did?
No, not that quickly. Yeah. He was amazing when he first got here. I mean, he hit it off with the fans. The fans fell in love with this guy, just like that. It didn't take long at all. By the way that he plays, again, he's exciting. Obviously, he can hit. He's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's going to drive in runs. But he's fun to watch on the bases. He's not built like Ricky Henderson, but he steals bases like Ricky Henderson. He had 19 steals with us and never got caught stealing one time. He stole 30 bases last year because he's so smart. Bouncing around, boom, all of a sudden he's gone. If you're on second base, he's on first base, you got to go. It's go time for you at second base because he's going to be running, right up your back. But the fans love him, and it showed when he had his negotiations right after the season. He signed early. He said he could have signed with other clubs. I'm sure there were other teams that were very interested in a guy who could hit for an average, drive the ball out of the ballpark, play great defense. But he loved it here. He loved the way that the Mariners treated his family. Onyx was his new baby boy, a few months back, and he just loves everything about the organization. That I want to play here. The other thing too, he saw the talent inside that clubhouse. We were 8 outs away from the World Series last year, so he was a big part of that. And he wants to get back there, and not only get back there, but to win it. So the fans love this guy.
Yeah, it's cool that he's kind of endorsing this team basically by signing early. And then the other thing, what was the over-under we had yesterday on stolen bases for him? Was like 19 or 20
19
or whatever.
and a half, yeah.
Even if he doesn't get that, I mean, it seems like he's kind of a pest. We talk about Caballero was kind of like
same
that,
guy.
Yeah, and I mean, that just takes so much focus away from, the pitcher and catcher and everybody else. I mean, it just seems like that's, he's gonna do it every single time, right? I mean, like this guy never takes a play off.
Yeah, no, never. When you see him bounce around over there at first base or getting a huge lead or something, catchers like to call fastballs, and that helps the guy in the batter's box most times because if we think he's going to run, I want to get that ball as soon as I can. Ivan Rodriguez called a lot of fastballs. He threw out a lot of guys, but he called a lot of fastballs, when he was the Hall of Fame catcher for the Texas Rangers. So that definitely helps out because the pitcher, as you said, David, can make a mistake, leave whatever he throws out over the plate for the hitter, can, throw that fastball that you're looking for. You're going to get to it and do some damage. So with him on at first base, he gives a pitcher fits, the middle infielders fits, and the catcher has to worry a little bit about everything that's going on. Yeah. He's fun to watch.
Hey, what did you think of Logan's performance last night? I was telling Dave, it felt very reminiscent of last year, where he's piling up strikeouts.
Yeah.
In turn, he's going to throw a lot of pitches. He's not going to go as deep into a game. He goes 5 1/3. Year before, he led the league in innings pitched. So it's kind of I'd love him to find a middle ground. Love the strikeouts, but I'd love to see him go deeper into games. It just felt like a start from last year, but what was your takeaway?
Yeah, I thought he pitched very well. 5 1/3 innings. Opening day last year, very unusual. He went 7 innings.
Yeah.
Didn't walk anybody, and he struck out 8. I think he only gave up a couple of hits. He retired the first 8 batters of that game against the Oakland. I'll call them the Oakland A's.
How dare you?
We know what
A's,
you're talking about.
Whatever the A's they're playing in, Sacramento A's. He retired the first 8 guys, gave up a hit, then retired 21 of 23 guys in that ball game. And that's opening day. You don't expect your opening day starter to go more than 5 innings, 6 innings, but he went 7 innings that game. His pitch count was, pretty good. So, Danny let him go, and he went 5 1/3 in the ball game last night. I thought he threw the ball very well. He had a really good splitter that was just flying all over the place. And, this guy, as we all know, is a stud in that starting rotation. All 5 of them are great. All 6 of them are great. Emerson Hancock, I think, is going to have a big year in the rotation this year. So Bryce Miller in the IL right now, not really sure when he's going to be back. They're hoping by the end of April. But in the meantime, this starting staff, I wouldn't trade these 5, 6 guys for any 5 or 6 on any other team.
Anybody in the bullpen kind of stand out to you?
Gabe Spire always stands out to me because he's always strike one. He's amazing. Getting that first pitch over for a strike. He's sneaky fast. He can throw 95, 96, 97, but he's always strike one, and that's what you need. He always controls, the count. He gets the 0-2 as fast as George Kirby does as a starter. I like Ferrer. We're going to love this guy throwing 98, 99 miles an hour with sink to it. So we saw the ground ball out that he had and a pop-up into right field. He's going to strike out a lot of guys. That's going to help out Spire to give him a break, having the 2 lefties, which they were both in the game last night. Ferrer, I think, is going to do a heck of a job out there in the bullpen. So,
Riz, looking forward to seeing you again tonight. That's one of the coolest things for me, is to be able to just sit behind a legend and watch you do your thing up there in the booth.
Well, thank you, buddy. It's been an amazing run, and I'm going to, like I said, take a mental snapshot of every place I go and everything we do here at home. The fans were amazing, about 46,000 fans last night. I love opening day, the magenta carpet and the guys coming in, the fireworks and the red, white, and blue bunting. And now things start to settle in with Game 2. You know, I like Game 2. I love Game 1. I love opening day, but I love Game 2 when the season really you get into that flow, the rhythm, and the tempo of a season really begins tonight. But last night was fun, except for the loss. But open day is always exciting.
161 more to go.
That's right. That's the way I look at it. Hey, the Mariners are a game out of first place with 161 games left to play. They got time to make up that one game. The Angels are in first place. Angels enjoy that because you're not going to be there for very long.
I think they can close the gap.
Exactly. In a hurry.
Riz, we love you, man.
Love you too.
See you later on.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
There he is, the legend, Rick Rizzs of your Seattle Mariners. You love that voice. We're going to cherish that voice all season long. Meanwhile, did the Mariners pick the right opening day starter? Some seem to think maybe they didn't, but we'll talk about that as we continue live from Victory Hall with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Here we go.
The fellas are back at T-Mobile, opening the season with a show of power.
Stay fair. It is gone. Goodbye, baseball. Welcome to Seattle. Brendan Donovan.
Tonight, the M's look to put that first W on the board behind George Kirby on the mound. Mariners Guardians. First pitch at 6:45.
It is going to go. Number 2 of the game for Tom Canzone.
Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Some places just know how to make an evening special. I'm Brock Jordan. For me, that place is Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue. For 24 years, my friend Chef John Howie and his team have delivered incredible seafood. I'm talking pristine local oysters, sushi, cedar plank salmon, generous portions, and an unmatched beverage list. From the first greeting to the final bite, you feel taken care of. Celebration, business dinner, night with friends, Sea Star turns great meals into lasting memories. SeaStarRestaurant.com.
It is time to rewind with the Nostalgia and Retro Convention in Puyallup this weekend. Get autographs and photos with Hall of Famer Edgar Martinez and Jay Buhner. Meet Dennis Rodman and Horace Grant, Sergeant Slaughter in the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Music fans can meet J.C. Chazé from NSYNC, Tiffany and Debbie Gibson. Dive into a world of classic TV and movies with Ponch and John from Chips, Steve Gutenberg and Bobcat Goldthwait from Police Academy, and so many more. Saturday and Sunday at the fair in Puyallup. Buy tickets now at rewindwa.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax, because you bundle your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
There for you at 866-979-3776. We're coming to you live from Victory Hall, right across the street from T-Mobile Park. Game 2 of the Mariners series with the Guardians coming your way. You guys can text in your mean texts as well. We'll do those at about, what do we say, 5:15, Matt? Is that what we said?
Yeah, and now's the day to do it, by the way. Idiots. It's Friday. It's actually Friday. Thank you.
We got somebody in person saying,
I got in person. He's having a beer. He's sending in mean texts. Perfect. Well, it's Friday.
You just called him an idiot.
No,
so.
I didn't. It's the idiots that send them in on Thursday and Wednesday and Tuesday.
They're allowed to, Dave. That's we collect them during the week.
They're morons.
I wish that person would. They haven't checked back in, I don't think, since that one. I think we may have shamed them too much.
I'll tell you what, that one goes into the Hall of Fame for mean text. That one, and then also the one that called me self-defecating.
Self-defecating was good. That was
very
a solid
humble
one.
and self-defecating. That's in the Hall of Fame.
That one was intentionally funny. The other one was not, and that's what made it beautiful.
Exactly.
You morons.
The person that wrote the other one, though, like it started off like oh, this is so nice.
Yeah.
And then
what I love about Dave is humble and self-defecating. All right, well, text them in 866-979-3776. Let's take two.
Tiger Woods was arrested earlier today for driving under the influence after a rollover crash in Florida.
Yeah, this is sad, man, to see a guy who's got everything you could possibly want for in your life in the way of security, financial security. I mean, he's never going to want for anything in his life. It's all there at his fingertips, and he can't get it right, man. He's obviously got an issue because this is not a new situation for him. It's his fourth high-profile car crash. He hit a fire hydrant in 2009, passed out at the wheel in 2017, and was going 87 in a 45 zone in a 2019 crash in California. And then the situation with his wife and all of that, where he crashed, and I don't know if that's involved in one of these, but where I think she took one of his clubs to his car at the time.
Remember that?
Yeah, it just shows you, I guess, you can have it all, or seemingly have it all, and still really screw things up.
Well, if there was ever a guy that could afford to have a driver, we're talking about, if you have as much money as you could possibly ever spend. We talked about this the other day. I thought you had a good one, a personal chef.
Yeah.
How about a professional driver? Somebody to just
100%.
drive. I mean, you got to look back and go, okay, I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's his competitive side coming in, but
well, it's his. Obviously, he's got an issue. If you got this many alcohol-related situations, that's a really bad trend.
No, that's it. Yeah. By the way, I'm not trying to make light, but have you ever been in a golf cart crash?
Have I?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I have.
So have I.
And you both lived to tell about it.
Only barely. I was actually sitting on the back of a golf cart. We hit a bump. I fell off, but my leg got hooked on one of the side railings, and they drugged me for a few feet before they realized.
They just heard thump, thump. What is that? We have a flat?
Yeah, we tipped one over one time, and I had a linebacker, Sam Merriman. Sam was, we used to go golfing all the time, and so we were speeding down this wet, grassy hill, and then it started to get out of control, and I just remember him yelling, "Don't lock the brakes! Don't lock the brakes!" And sure enough, I locked the brakes, and we spun around, and it tipped over, but nobody was hurt.
MLB teams had a 61% success rate on ABS challenges through the first 12 games of the regular season, winning 19 out of 31.
That's cool. It's interesting to see. We saw Caballero be the first to use it and lose.
He lost.
We saw a challenge from Cleveland side last night that they lost, which I think is always, especially when you're on the road, you got to be careful because all you're doing is just charging up that opposing fan base, right? And situationally, it's going to be interesting to see how teams sort of adapt to. Okay, are the managers going to lay down the hammer before the game, going, look, here are the moments you don't use it. Nobody on, no score, third inning, 2 outs, whatever. I mean, you've seen them used a couple of times in low leverage situations, if you will. It's different, obviously, if it's late in the game and you're down by a run and you got the tying run or maybe the go-ahead run on third base. Okay, then we're having a different conversation. But when the bases are empty and there's 2 outs and you're early in a game, probably not a great time to use it.
I wonder about you mentioned the crowd getting into it. Maybe in like a super heated moment, maybe everybody's like dialed in, but a lot of times, people are, I don't know if you miss it every once in a while, if you're, looking away or starting to have a conversation. I don't know. As a fan, yeah. I feel like people aren't quite as dialed in. Obviously, high leverage situations, you're gonna notice it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that does lead to a little bit more intensity in the crowd.
Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. All right. So what did we see from the Mariners pitchers last night? We saw Logan Gilbert. I thought he was solid. I didn't think he was great. I thought he was a solid, 5 1/3, gives up 3 runs. He almost got to that quality start. If he could have gotten his way through the 6th inning, that would have been a quality start. But he's your opening day starter. You expect more. But I'm going to go ahead and not trip on him, Dave.
You're not going to be tripping?
Yeah, I'm not tripping yet. But 3 runs, 5 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts. So pitch count gets up, obviously, again, when you're recording that many strikeouts and guys are up there battling. And we saw a lot of that last year with him, where guys were foul off a lot of pitches, right? So that pitch, he'd ultimately sort of win the war but lose the battle. He would just drive that pitch count up. And I remember Ryan Rowland-Smith last year talking about that, saying, look, as a hitter, you get a pitcher to throw 8, 9, 10, 11 pitches, you won, even if you don't get a hit. And that's coming from a pitcher, saying you kind of won because of the toll it's taking right there. And you saw a lot of that last year with Logan, guys fouling pitches off. Ultimately, he'd get a strikeout, and he'd had a ton of them last year. But I don't know. I'd like to find that middle ground between the strikeout guy and the guy that was throwing a ton of innings the year previous.
Yeah, and I'm sure he didn't like that DeLauder hit a home run off of him.
It's okay. He hit one off somebody else later, too.
Yeah. So, the rookie coming in. But I don't know. I mean, I guess if anybody's going to drive there, you'd be the most comfortable with Logan just because he is always, durable. It seems like, anyway. I mean, he works on that part of it anyway. But, I mean, I'm definitely not – I didn't feel any certain type of way other than, okay, they got to him a couple of times. But Logan is still Logan.
Yeah, and he's going to be your guy. As you count on the same – they're all kind of in that mode outside of Bryce, who's hurt, and Castillo, who's older. You got the 3 other guys that you're looking at with Wu and Kirby, along with Logan going, yeah, any of those 3 could have been the opening day starter. Any of those 3. And if they go out there and shove, then the fans are going, that's great. It was the right choice. And if they go out there and they're kind of like this, it doesn't matter if it was Logan or if it were Kirby. It would have been, if that were Kirby last night or if that were Wu last night, more importantly, because he was the other one we thought realistically would be the opening day starter based on who he was last year. Had he gone out and went 5 1/3 and 7 strikeouts, 3 runs, no walks, we heard the same thing. You would have heard, well, should have gone with Logan. Why didn't you go with Logan? And it's not like he went out there and just got lit up. Look, Paul Skeens, who's one of the great arms in the entire game of baseball, lasted 2/3 of an inning, gave up 5 earned runs. So it happens. It's going to happen. So he didn't go out there and just get absolutely torched. He wasn't dominant, but he was somewhere in between.
Yeah, no, it's a great example of Skeens getting lit up. So, yeah, kind of looked like that Emerson Hancock outing that we saw last year, and everybody pushed the panic button. I'm sure nobody's pushing the panic button on Skeens, but, yeah, that's just baseball, right?
Yeah, it's going to happen. So, but if you're tripping, text it in. I wish I would have read some of the text that he was responding to. They're tripping. 866-979-3776. That's also there for your mean text as well. Whatever you got, send that in. Meanwhile, should we be bracing for the Seahawks to perhaps take a step back this coming season? We'll talk about that next with Wyman and Bob live from Victory Hall at Seattle Sports on 710.
It's the biggest development yet since the Sonics left for OK.
Wait a minute.
You better watch your mouth, sunshine.
One step closer.
The NBA Board of Governors did vote yes to explore expansion here in Seattle.
Stay up on the very latest on the NBA's potential return to Seattle at seattlesports.com. And the conversation continues on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
We are on a magic carpet ride.
Hi, Sarah here with Safeway. We're proud to partner with Champions of Change co-founder Doug Baldwin to help nourish Washington students through the Nourishing Champions program.
Thanks, Sarah. And here's the reality. Every day, students across our state are staying after school for extracurriculars on empty stomachs, and some of them don't know where their next meal will come from. Food insecurity is reaching crisis levels, and the impact on our youth will extend far beyond this moment. The good news is that there's an answer in the federally funded after-school meals programs. But right now, Washington schools' participation is very low, reaching only 2% of the students who qualify.
That's where Nourishing Champions comes in. We're offering grants that not only fund food, but also resource and training support for the schools to offer an after-school meal program for years to come.
Our goal is to reach 10,000 more students in the first year of these grants and then grow from there. School staff can learn more and apply today at championsofchangefoundation.org and navigating to the Nourishing Champions tab. That's championsofchangefoundation.org and click on the Nourishing Champions tab.
Jackson Hewitt will do your taxes for $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So if you're a delivery driver, /handyman, /wedding DJ, you pay only $149 or less. We're talking to you, waitress.
Check, please.
/pet sitter, /influencer. Just $149 or less. Want your refund to work as hard as you? Hurry. Don't wait. File with Jackson Hewitt today. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com /149.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The March sales event is on at Toyota of Renton. Finance the 2026 Corolla LE or the Corolla Cross L at 4.99% APR for 72 months. Or lease the 2026 Camry LE at $279 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Find them at ToyotaofRenton.com. Offers valid through March 31st, 2026 on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, licenses, dealer accessories, and a $200 negotiable documentation fee. Model 1852-6302, 2552.
O'Brien. Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are live at Victory Hall. Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. Should we be looking at this Seahawks team maybe taking a step back this season, Dave?
Yeah, that's a popular discussion, obviously, and people saying, okay, did they get better? Did they get worse? Forced to answer that question. I'd say they got worse. I would just say that they're not done yet.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just grading today based on what they've lost versus what they brought in, yeah, you're not better. I mean, come on. If you're going to be honest about the situation, you losing Kobe Bryant, losing Ken Walker, losing Boye Mafe and Reek Woolen, and you're not a better team as we sit right now. But they're not playing as we sit right now. They're not taking the field. So.
Well, and I think the other thing is, as much as it was a celebration to sign JSN and to give that money to Rashid Shaheed
and Bobo,
Bobo, they matched that deal and exceeded it. So
all those guys were here before, though. They're not. You didn't bring in new talent.
Yeah, it's not an improvement.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I would say is, like, on the negative side is that, like, it's spending a lot of the salary cap, and sort of limiting your flexibility of what to do. So I would say technically that's true, but let's calm down here. Yeah. I mean, talk about tripping.
Well, and Jason McCourty, he was on NFL Live on ESPN, and he was talking about the Seahawks offense specifically going in without, maybe the biggest loss that we didn't talk about was Kubiak. That wasn't one where, you're going to outbid or anything. He wants to be a head coach, and that's not a possibility here in Seattle. So that wasn't a player that you elected not to, compete for. But that arguably is the biggest loss so far of the offseason. And Ken Walker, here's what he had to say about that.
But I look at this Seattle team, and of course you're going to lose players because they're going to sign those deals because other teams are looking for championship type of players. But I look at the coaching staff. You lose your offensive coordinator in Kubiak, who is now going to be the head coach of the Raiders. He takes a few coaches with him as well. So now you're looking at a brand new offensive system, and you've lost some of your players, including Kenneth Walker Jr. in the backfield. I look at the Lions a season ago. They lost their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, who moved on to Chicago to be their head coach. eventually the head coach had to take over play calling duties. It's not always a seamless transition. And I think for Seattle, that's where a lot of the questions are going to start to come on the offensive side of the ball. We saw Sam Darnold play his absolute best football in Seattle with Kubiak and everything they had going on. Can they hit the ground running this offseason and still be able to come with that style of offense with the losses that they've had on the field and in the booth?
We have no idea. We don't know what Fleury is going to look like as an offensive coordinator. I don't imagine his offense is going to be certainly not dramatically different, because I don't think Mike McDonald would have brought him in here. We're talking about a top 5 offense. I think we have to reinforce that you're not coming in to fix anything. It's not, hey, we got somebody to fix something that's really been struggling. This is a top 5 scoring offense in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So your offense was just fine. So they didn't need anybody to come in and revamp it and fix things. How different is it going to be? I think it'll be, somebody like you and people that played the game to get into the real, micro look at it. Yeah, you might notice some differences to the guy on the couch who's just wanting to watch the Seahawks go out there each and every Sunday and is a football fan. I don't know that it's going to look very different at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the only subtle difference will be like the sequencing of calls, and maybe Fleury, who I don't believe he's been an offensive coordinator before. Like, he's coached all kinds of different, positions, everything from special teams to defense and everything. But, what's his sort of style of play calling? And, and I think, the one thing that's going to be similar and they'll recognize is that they're going to stick with the run. So that was the thing last year with Clint Kubiak. They're going to keep pounding away, even if it looks like they're pounding their head against the wall. It's going to happen. So I don't think it'll be dramatically different. I would say also that this is going to be way less of a transition than it was from Grubb to Clint Kubiak. So this is a very similar style, similar system. So, maybe a little bit of terminology tweak here and there, but I don't expect it, them to, because, we saw week 1, they were just not, they were not in sync offensively.
No.
Scored 13 points. And, and it took them a while to get going. I thought the Commander game was kind of a breakout game, and that was like halfway through. So, and I know they scored, some points before that, but, I thought that's when everything kind of came together. So, and you were getting it done with guys like Cody White in that game against the Commanders. He scores his first touchdown. You had a lot of guys that were fairly new to the system. So, and I think this will be, it won't be nearly what it was transitioning from Grubb to Kubiak. They should be able to get it down, I would say, pretty quickly.
Yeah, because that, you can argue, obviously, that you needed that change. We need to revamp what we're doing here. We need fresh eyes. We need a fresh approach because what we were doing with Grubb was not working, obviously. So, yeah, that made sense to have a dramatic change. But when you're taking over an offense that was functioning just fine, doesn't mean you can't improve. There's certainly areas you can improve. But, the red zone, obviously, there's elements and situations you could look at. But overall, in terms of what did they ultimately produce, yeah, your offense is fine. You want somebody to come in and don't fix what's not broken. Yeah. Let's just add to it. So I think it's going to look very similar. But that still, Kubiak being gone is arguably the biggest loss of the offseason when you talk about all the players. Certainly I hated seeing Kobe Bryant leave. I like seeing Ken Walker leave. I like Ken Walker. Mm-hmm. But Kubiak is the one I think you'll miss the most, maybe initially out of the gate. Maybe it takes a little while to get used to the terminology. I don't know, what kind of changes Fleury may institute in the way of terminology or sequencing, but even that, maybe the first game again looks a little, maybe they play it safe, maybe it's a little vanilla, kind of what we saw in that 49er game where it just seemed really reserved and really dialed back. Maybe that's just, all right, let's see where everybody's at. Let's not get too exotic with the play calling, and we'll work our way into it.
Yeah, and that was evident all year where they had games where it's like they didn't have to call the big risky plays. It was just, we were fine running the ball, short passing game. The other thing is that, look, there's lots of room for an offense that maybe will struggle when you have a defense like that. Mm-hmm. And special teams, I would argue, too. But the defense is going to keep you in games. And, yeah, it sucked losing Kobe Bryant. I think most people were probably done with Rick Woolen. So, Boye Mafe, I don't think was much of a difference maker. If you go and look at the roster and who's left, it's really good. You still got Ernest Jones, right? You still got Big Cat up front, who threw out the first pitch last night, which was pretty cool. I like that.
He didn't throw out the first pitch,
or
but he was out there hyping up the crowd.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
he was
right.
out there with the trident and the mic, and he was in his element. That was pretty cool to see.
He did not throw out the first pitch.
Yeah, that was Rupert Jones.
Okay,
throwing it to David Segui.
I remember that
last night.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see him out there though, in his Mariner jacket, and he's just pumping the trident and doing his celebration and
doing his pull-up thing.
Yeah. That was cool to see. Very cool to see. All right, so how did the Abandoned Boys respond to the Mariners' season opening loss? Well, we'll ask one of them, one member of that club, that gang. Paul Moyer is going to join us next for his weekly conversation here with Wyman and Bob live from Victory Hall at Seattle Sports on 710.
Here we go. The fellas are back at T-Mobile, opening the season with a show of power.
Stay fair, it is gone. Goodbye, baseball. Welcome to Seattle. Brendan Donovan.
Tonight, the M's look to put that first W on the board behind George Kirby on the mound. Mariners, Guardians. First pitch at 6:45.
It is going to go. Number 2 of the game for Tom Canzone.
Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Trust is everything. Earning it takes years. Losing it takes 5 seconds.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO, ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day for baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. Case in point, your ticket might be for the view level, but it's more like Skyline City. Up here, it's hard to say what'll take your breath away first. The gorgeous Seattle sunsets or the spectacular views of every incredible play. If you like value with a view, it's the perfect place to take quality time with the family to a whole new level. Literally.
A bases clearing, 3-run double. Everybody on their feet here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss the Mariners opening homestand, featuring tonight's AL West Champs replica banner night at 6:45, thanks to T-Mobile. Tomorrow's Cal Raleigh 60 home run bobblehead night at 6:40, presented by Alaska Airlines, and a showdown against Aaron Judge and the Yankees Monday through Wednesday. Get tickets at mariners.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. But they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Well, Tiger Woods apparently showed signs of impairment and was arrested today at the scene of a car crash in which he struck another vehicle and rolled his Land Rover. According to authorities out there, they said Woods and the person in the other vehicle were not injured, which is fantastic news. Woods was able to crawl out of the passenger side of his Land Rover. Crash occurred just after 2 p.m., not far from where Woods lives on Jupiter Island. So we'll see how that whole thing progresses, but not good news for Tiger Woods, to say the very least, as he was attempting to make his comeback to golf. Meanwhile, former Raiders center Barrett Robbins has passed away at the age of 52 years old. The cause of death was not made known. His former teammate, Hall of Fame wide receiver Tim Brown, was the first to deliver the news of Robbins' death in a heartfelt post on Twitter.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
This is the moment many wait for.
The most entertaining.
Man of wisdom. Man of experience, Dave.
The most informative.
To bring light to a dark subject. To bring positivity to a negative world.
The incredible Paul Moyer.
Moyer out. He's here, everybody. He's with us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. You look to him for guidance. You look to him for a calm voice in a storm. You look for him to talk you off a ledge when you're 0-1 on a baseball season and you think, why bother with the next 161? This is the guy to get you straightened out. Paul Moyer is here with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I'm happy the Mariners are back, but we've lost like 3 in a row since last year in the opener. So, it's we need a win. We need a win tonight.
What was the reaction of the abandoned boys? Was there questioning of the manager, questioning of the lineup, the opening day starter? What? Give me a sense of the mood there.
Yeah, it was. I had to write. I said, remember, it's just the first game. But what are we doing? Our bullpen's lousy. We got no chance this year. Dan Wilson's not taking this serious, which I didn't love the way we did the bullpen last night either. I'm like, well, we're in it. And I really feel the opener against Cleveland was a really important game because we got the Yankees starting Monday. And, you lose this opener. I mean, you got to win the next 3 to win the series. You got to win 2 of 3 just to split. I mean, it just puts you in a bad situation there. But, I think everybody's going to be fine. But we're in playoff mode right from the get-go. And I'm trying to let them know it's a long season. We got to relax here a little bit. We're going to be burnt out.
What was it about the bullpen that bothered you? Because the one that really cost him is a guy which was a leverage arm last year. It was spectacular for you, Gabe Spire. I mean, you scored one more run. They gave up another run in the 9th, Obviously, that didn't help, but you only scored 4 and you lost by 2. So that run in the ninth, yeah, didn't like seeing it, but ultimately that's not why you lost. You lost because Gabe Spire came in and was not good, and that's a leverage arm that everybody has faith in.
Yeah, I mean, you're also sitting, Brash and, Munoz. Right. I'm not expecting Munoz to come in at that point, but I just, I thought the 8th to 9th inning, going with Chris Will. I mean, by the way, these are good pitchers. I mean, don't get me wrong, but we're a one-run game here. You got to keep that tight. To me, you're playing this as tight as you can. Look, some of these guys are new to us. We got to learn who these guys are too. I think that was probably it. More just, hey, let's keep this thing as tight as possible and gives our guys a chance. And, we're relying on the home run ball, and with the Mariners, I mean, anything's possible going into that 8th and 9th inning. Not a big deal. It's just in our text. Is this really? I mean, if this was a playoff game, is that your bullpen in that playoff game? And I'm going to say no. And this is the opener, man. We got some fresh arms right now. So I think that was the only complaint.
Hey, Paul, what was more exciting to you? Was it Dom Canzone or Luke Raley or Brandon Donovan? I mean, I'm sure that's what most people were excited about. But, first at bat, hits the leadoff home run. Yeah, kind of a instant verification that you got a really good player there.
Yeah, that was a good trade right from the get-go. And look, I like this guy. I just like the way he's just that guy. He's just a baseball player. He's built like Naylor. You need guys like that, or Jim Rats, and love baseball. And, obviously the lead off with the home run, that was a really cool moment. Canzone, you guys asked me a couple weeks ago, who's your breakout guy? And I said, well, I'm not saying he didn't completely break out last year, but it's Canzone. I mean, I think he's a guy that has proven he's got the power, and, for him to hit 2 of those last night, great. Keep building on what you did last year. So I think the Canzone one is like, okay, last year wasn't a fluke when you came back, and Donovan is just, I think we all knew what we were going to get. The one thing I'm not loving though, and I know it worked last year, when we moved Cal Raleigh to the second spot in the lineup and moved Julio to third. And I can't remember if they did that about the time Naylor came in. It was sometime in the second half of the season, and it worked. But I'm looking at the lineup, and I like our lineup. Cal and Julio, they strike out so much. And you're going to put him second and third. And you got Cal second. He's good base runner, but is he going to move? We got a legit leadoff hitter now in Donovan. He's legit. He's going to be on base a lot. You got to move. You got to move him. And I know last night it was, he had the 2 hits, the one won the home run. And we'll see how this thing plays out. I might put Naylor between Cal and Julio. Just to kind of break up some of those strikeouts and get, the bat on the ball. But, I can't argue yet. Last year it was very successful for us. But I think as this develops throughout the year, I think Dan, may end up tweaking that if Cal doesn't have the kind of year he had last year. I mean, Cal's going to have to, he's going to have to get on base if we're going to play the whole year at the number 2 spot.
So you'd like Julio in the cleanup spot and Naylor in the 3-hole. That's what you want to see?
I'm not sure. My originally, Bob, I was thinking, you put Donovan, you lead off, you put Naylor second, and I get it. By putting Cal there, you've got a switch hitter. So you're match. You're not just got lefty the whole time, and I get some of that, but I kind of like Naylor in the 2-hole because he's proven that he is a good base runner and he can steal and he does make contact. He would move the base runner along. And then you've got, Cal and Julio in the 3rd and 4th spot. And again, that defeats what my purpose was earlier, that you split those 2 up a little bit with somebody who makes more contact. But when you really look at the lineup, you go, is Cal really a number 2 person in your lineup? Not traditionally. Again, it worked last year. Let's see how this thing plays out. But yeah, I'd just like to get somebody who makes a little bit more contact in those first two roles in the lineup.
So what was the group's takeaway with Logan Gilbert specifically? Because as Dave said, he heard Bump talking about texters were tripping on Logan Gilbert last night. So what was your reaction to him? Did you think he should have been the opening day starter? And then we know he was, obviously. So what was your reaction to his outing?
Well, I mean, if you're going to go off of last year, Wu deserves that role, but maybe they didn't feel Wu was quite ready, and how they're stacking that lineup, down the road. I thought Logan was fine. That first home run, it was probably a strikeout before that pitch. I thought it caught the line. I think on the tracer, it caught a piece, and then it went to a full count. And, he hung a slider. It is what it is. But he had 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. He only gave up 5 hits, no walks. Just a couple home runs. The home run there. I remember going into, was it the 6th inning when they scored those 2 runs or whatever, 5th inning? I thought, maybe pull him a little early, because, we're stretching him out to almost 90 pitches at this point. The first 2 guys got on base. It was like, let's see if we can get out of this inning. But I thought Logan had some nasty stuff going. I heard you guys talking about it earlier. It'd be nice maybe if he created more contact outs than just, strikeouts. But I don't have – I mean, Gilbert, whether it's Kirby, whether it's Wu, heck, throw Castillo in there. They're all worthy of being the opening day starter. I didn't have a problem with Logan, and I thought he actually pitched pretty well.
Hey, Paul, I can't remember if we got your opinion on this or not, but as far as the AL West goes, who do you think is the biggest threat?
Well, I think the Rangers just on paper. The Houston's obviously always a problem, but look, I think the one we all got to take a look at, the one that I know they're talking about, they're just such good young talent. It's the A's. What are they called now? They're not Las Vegas A's yet, right?
I think they're just the Athletics. I don't think they're attaching a city to them.
Just the Athletics. Again, and you never know. That's the nice thing about baseball is, you get these young guys, they develop, and, you get in the second half of the season, somebody gets hot. But, the Rangers, they're loaded. They just had injuries last year. I think that's the one I'm looking at. We've got them. Matter of fact, I'm down here in Dallas. I'm going to go to one of those games, I think April 6th or 7th, 8th, whenever they're playing them. Cool ballpark. If you ever go there, it's cool inside and great setup outside for people who like to tailgate a bit. So, yeah, that to me is kind of our biggest risk going into this season.
Paul, you said you heard us talking with Riz, and isn't it weird to think of that this is it, that we're not going to hear those calls again, and this is a guy who still clearly has his fastball, to throw out a cliche, but I don't know. What do you think of that? You think we could talk him into another season?
I wish. I really do. I still love listening to a radio broadcast over the TV one, and I don't know why. It's just something the way they call the game. I remember asking Gary Hill that. I think Dave, maybe we had him on when Bob was out one day, and there's just something the way they describe it. It's maybe it's the way I grew up. And I remember when I got my first radio show at Cairo there back in the late 90s, and Rick was one of the first guys I'd known and met, and God, he was just such a great guy. I mean, he loves baseball and the history of baseball. Him and Niehaus together, that was a pretty cool duo right there. And if I've got that gig, and I get it, look, I got 4 granddaughters, and I want to be around them. But man, that's a good gig. I don't think I'm retiring from that one. I'm doing that until I can't do it anymore.
Until they drag you out of the booth.
It's going to be it. Well, I think next year is going to be hard for him. And what do I do? And what's my purpose now? And boy, I could still do that. And yeah, I wish he would stay. I think Gary Hill's fantastic. I like listening to him too. He's got a great radio voice. But it's going to be weird not having a Riz.
Yeah, no question. Hey, Paul, we were talking earlier about, I think it was Devin McCourty that was talking about, that the basically, and I guess you have to say that did the Seahawks get better? They've gotten poached a little bit, but they did, re-sign JSN, and you did, lock up Bobo, and same thing with Rashid. So, I feel like you're probably not better necessarily, but the transition offensively, I think from Kubiak to Fleury is going to be a lot smoother than the Grubb to Kubiak transition.
Yeah, I agree. And so, are we better? No, we're not better from the time we won the Super Bowl. I could possibly argue we're as good, maybe better going into the season. And the reason why I say that is I've got a Sam Darnold who's confident. I've got Rashid, who wasn't a part of our team last year until the very end. And I've got, 3-4 pretty good wide receivers there. We've won without K9. We've won without Kobe Bryant. The other guys were really important. Mafe, talented guy, in Woolen, you guys mentioned. He's good until he's not. And look, I hate losing them, but we're good. We're solid. I mean, our offense, you got all your wide receivers coming back. You got all your tight ends, your whole offensive line, your quarterback. You've got, 75% of your running backs coming back. We're going to be fine offensively. And then defensively, I think the toughest one to replace to me is we got to get a corner, because Witherspoon doesn't play the outside corner the whole time. He's playing in that nickel spot, and he's moving around, blitzing and stuff. So you got to have somebody to match Job on the other side. So to me, that's their big thing that they've got to work on, whether that's still free agents or in the draft. But other than that, look, we're going to be fine. When you win a Super Bowl, there's no way you're bringing the whole thing back. And this is a game where you have to develop. And we've got some good young players, particularly rushers. And, again, I think Riley Mills, man, all of a sudden you get a full off season now, healthy. He understands the system. We're going to be even more stout up the middle there with our D line. So there's a lot of positives. And Dave, I heard you say it's not finished yet. They don't get involved that much in the first wave of free agency. That's just not what they do. And it's played out pretty well. They get more involved in that second wave, usually after June. So let's see how that plays out, as well as the draft.
Yeah, Paul, I'm curious to get your take on this. We were talking about maybe the biggest loss being Kubiak. Obviously, you can't compete with the ability to be a head coach. He's going to go and take that. But I've said I don't expect a dramatic difference the way you saw from Grubb to Kubiak. Now from Kubiak to Fleury, I think you're not fixing anything that was broken. This is a top 5 scoring offense in the league. Certainly they can improve aspects of the offense, but overall he's taking over something that worked very well. And I think obviously Mike McDonald knows that. So he's not going to bring in anybody who's going, well, I'm going to revamp this and revamp that. And I think it's going to look very similar to what we saw, if not exactly the same to the naked eye as what we saw last season. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, completely. And I heard Coach McDonald say something. He didn't call him out, Grubb, but he talked about process. And I'll try to give you an analogy or an example here. Again, I hate doing this too much to Grubb. It sounds like I'm beating up on him. But, Grubb's a very smart guy, but he's what I call a whiteboard coach, in that he's got all these good ideas, and every week's a new idea. The problem is the execution of those ideas. And what McDonald wanted is he wanted great teachers with your process built in, and that everything you do has a reason and it's explained. And so I think back in the early 1990s when the Dallas Cowboys were dominant and were winning Super Bowls with Troy Aikman and all those guys. If you watch their offense, which I was coaching against, it was really simple. They didn't run a lot of plays. Matter of fact, if you go watch the Seahawks, they disguise a lot with motion, but I've seen the same play action and bootleg routes and the same type of run concepts. I've seen it because we watch it over and over, but it's the way we execute it. And that's what Coach McDonald has brought with Shanahan last year. And so now you got a new offensive coordinator going to have the same type of philosophy. That's the important part. Kubiak, not Shanahan. And so when we lost Kubiak, I'm not as worried about his play calling. I don't know if he was a great play caller or not, but the scheme he brought in was great. And that is going to be continued. And he brought in, I think he brought in the new offensive coordinator for the right reasons because of that. So I think back again, way back when the Dallas Cowboys, when they were winning those Super Bowls with Troy Aikman and them, yes, they had incredible talent. But, man, the way they executed their play action, they ran this cutback with Emmitt Smith that was almost impossible to stop unless you brought down an extra player. And then when you got that, you got a play action. They would run this 20-yard deep out to Irvin, and it was impossible to stop. And they ran that play over and over. I knew it was coming. Our players knew it was coming. They could not stop it. And that's what I think the Seahawks have. They said, look, we have our philosophy. Here's how we're going to run it. We're going to execute the you-know-what out of it, and we'll throw some wrinkles in there. So, yeah, I'm very comfortable. I think Coach McDonald and Snyder have a great pulse of this team and what they need. And I think for a guy who's never had an offensive coordinator job to get one on a Super Bowl winning team, he must have been the most impressive interview and had every answer because Coach McDonald reads people. He knows what a good coach is. And so I'm a believer in that.
Hey, Paul, do you think DeMarcus Lawrence is coming back? I don't see why he wouldn't. Somebody was pointing out he had another kid, and like, well, he wants to get away from the kids. That would be a good thing. But
how many does he have? Do we know?
Yeah, I think he has 3 or 4. I think that's what I've heard. But anyway, yeah, I mean,
he's coming back, Dave.
I think so too. He's only 33.
He's coming back. Got 4 kids. I got mouths to feed. I got shoes to put on their feet. He's got a nice contract. He doesn't have to play 80% of the snaps. He's on a great organization. I think if he were to retire, he would have already announced it. Usually, guys, after a season, you go, I don't want to go through the grind of the off season of working out and lifting weights and getting up early because it's a full-time job. I mean, you got to take care of your body. They will take care of him as a veteran. So I don't see it. I know some people go out on top, but if he retired, it's more than going out on top because his game, I mean, that's as good as I've seen him play. Not that I watched him a lot, but he played as well as anybody. Obviously on our team, and so I don't see it. I think he comes back. I think he enjoys this organization, and I think bring it back one more time. I'd be shocked if he did. I hear the rumors. I'm just not sure where they're coming from.
Paul, before we let you go, just we were talking about that story about Tiger Woods being arrested under suspicion of DUI, and it's not his first infraction related to alcohol. I mean, to me, that says you got a problem when you know you're under maybe the biggest spotlight out there in terms of notoriety. You do anything, it's a talking point around the world. So you continue to make that same kind of mistake with alcohol. That probably says you got a problem, but this is a guy that's got all the financial wherewithal in the world, could have a full-time driver. If he doesn't ever want to have a set of keys in his hand ever again, he doesn't have to. He can pay somebody to do everything for him, driving, cooking, whatever he wants. Yet here we are again. It's a sad story.
Yeah, I'd be his driver. I just saw something where he said he passed the breathalyzer test, but he refused the urine test. And so, look, he's had 3 accidents. That's not normal. And 1 ran into a tree, and he lost his wife. 1, he's driving down the hill way too fast, and they think he was probably on, some type of pain pills or whatever. They never got to the bottom of that one. He lost the use of his foot and obviously his career from that one. And then this one, I'm like, I'm with you, Bob. Maybe he won't even have to make that decision. Maybe the courts and judges will make that decision for him. You're never driving again because you can afford to have a driver. I also know, look, there are people like him. They just like control. And he's the GOAT, man. GOAT, as far as golfing, he's the greatest and decision maker on a golf course. He might be the GOAT as the worst decision maker off the golf course, because that is just crazy to me. I mean, I hope everybody's good. It sounds like no one's really were injured from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, bad decisions. And, you know, he's such a role model. This is a pretty good one to come out and say, hey, there's no reason for this. And set some type of example, whatever that may be.
Yeah. You got lucky. Nobody got hurt this time, and you've had multiple.
Sounds like Paul thinks there should be a WOT, the worst of all time.
Yeah, WOT. Right? Yeah.
Well, he's pretty bad. We could probably do a segment someday on athletes who have made the worst decisions. But you know, for driving reasons, he's up there.
Yeah, especially considering his profile and everything. Just unbelievable. Yep. All right, Paul, as always, we appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk next week, hopefully, about just a tremendous run for this Mariner team and their bullpen, and no decisions being questioned.
The season's on the line. Important weekend, and next week, the first 3 games, so let's get her done.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, thanks, Paul.
All right, fellas, have a good one.
There you go. There's Paul Moyer with us each and every week. If you guys missed any part of that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Don't forget to click subscribe because it's free, which is the right price, and it just shows up every day for you. You don't even have to remember it. By the way, the Mariners' first homestand is jam-packed with epic events and matchups. You can score a Cal Raleigh 60-home run bobblehead on Saturday, thanks to Alaska Airlines, and catch a star-powered showdown against Aaron Judge and the Yankees Monday through Wednesday. Seattle Sports will be broadcasting live here at Victory Hall. Obviously, today we'll be here every Friday home game as well, starting at 2 p.m. to kick off the season. Check out the complete schedule. Get your tickets at mariners.com. Meanwhile, the Mariners' season opener wasn't all bad news. We'll look at 2 of the best performances in that game coming up next. It's Wyman and Bob live from Victory Hall, Seattle Sports on 710.
Here we go.
The fellas are back at T-Mobile, opening the season with a show of power.
Stay fair. It is gone. Goodbye, baseball. Welcome to Seattle. Brendan Donovan.
Tonight, the M's look to put that first W on the board behind George Kirby on the mound. Mariners Guardians. First pitch at 6:45.
It is going to go. Number 2 of the game for Dog Can Zone.
Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife, and for local men recently diagnosed with prostate cancer, several treatment options are available. I recently had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Robert Moyer. He's a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award, and we spoke about the great work being done by Swedish Cyberknife. And Dr. Moyer said that patients experience fewer side effects compared with other treatments, and the Cyberknife treatment is complete after only 5 sessions, each lasting less than an hour. Patients are treating their prostate cancer in only 1 week with minimal interruption to their lives, and many don't even have to take time off of work in order to undergo treatment. And the Cyberknife targets the prostate cancer only, sparing vital surrounding organs. So, Swedish Cyberknife, they've been offering the Cyberknife treatment here in Seattle for over 10 years and treated over 1,000 prostate cancer patients, some of them listening right now. So if diagnosed with prostate cancer, learn more about Cyberknife for prostate cancer treatment at swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated, so don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only 1 item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart, just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on Federal Returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
I need a little range, step to the range, come on, meet me at the
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
P&D Tree Service, local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. If you were hit hard by the storm, P&D Tree will remove trees and clean up while minimizing impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service, any job, big or small, safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Our thanks once again to Paul Moyer, who joined us in the previous segment. In case you guys just tuned in and missed that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Click the podcast tab, click on our picture. It'll be right there waiting for you after the show. And don't forget, click subscribe. It's totally free. And that way it just shows up for you every day. And you don't even have to worry about remembering, Dave, which I know is a popular feature for a lot of people.
I'm sorry, what?
That's right. Thanks for playing. Meanwhile, it was a nice night for a couple of Mariners. Obviously, we talked about Brendan Donovan getting off to a fantastic start and really selling himself to the fan base that was already excited about his arrival. But I think there are probably a lot more Brendan Donovan fans after last night's game. Maybe more jerseys were sold. That's a perfect way to get started. But, you and I talked yesterday about, who are the guys who's the guy you're rooting for? Not who's your favorite player. who's that guy who would just make you feel good just to see him have some success? And you said Dom Canzone, and I said Luke Raley, and they both had a night, which was pretty cool to see. I know it came in a loss. We'll be okay, but it was pretty cool to see. Here's home run number 1 in the bottom of the second for Dom Canzone.
Now the windup by Bybee and the 2-1 to Dom. Swinging a drive deep into the gap in right center field. Going and going. Goodbye, baseball. Holy smokes, Dom Canzone in his first at-bat of the 2026 season. Out of here to right center field. Dom Canzone unties it. It's now the Mariners 2 and the Guardians 1. The Mariners with their second run, with their second home run of the game.
Pretty cool they had the lead there.
Yeah, they did. Well, and it's pretty cool looking at Dom Canzone's stat page right now, because he's got 2 home runs in 1 game. So yeah, at 2.000 slug.
That's pretty good.
Is that good?
That's pretty good. If he can maintain that, he might be an all-star.
Might be good. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy that kind of showed up looking like he's a lot more powerful. And you look at like his lower half, he's got some, he's got some big legs, and as Brock would call him, quadzilla type of body. And and he just been kind of quiet. He had a pretty good year though last year. I mean, he batted 300. And only played in 82 games, but he had 269 plate appearances and 358 on base percentage. So yeah, it's just he's kind of a sleeper. I would say that you kind of forget about him, but he does have pop, definitely.
Yeah, it was great to see, because he got sent down to AAA last year, came back, was a different guy. Problem was he went dark during the postseason. You didn't get anything. Yeah. So that was problematic. But, hey, he seems to obviously hit the ground running, at least in game 1 anyway, because he went back there and did it again in the bottom of the 7th.
Here comes the pitch. Swung on, blasted. This is on its way. It is going to go. Number 2 of the game on opening day for Dom Canzone. A solo blast for Dom, a no-doubter. 4th home run of the game for the Mariners. That's a way to celebrate opening day for Dom Canzone.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the reasons you mentioned his playoff numbers. That's why he was kind of a sleeper coming into this year, because he batted 107.
Yeah, he was a non-factor.
He did not show up really at all. Had 1 RBI. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Dan Wilson after the game was obviously asked about Canzone and what he's seen from him.
Yeah, again, he was a guy last year that really took a huge step forward and really swung the bat well for us. And I thought the way he attacked left-handers was outstanding last year as well. And, went into the offseason, feeling very confident about what he had done and should have. And, played in the WBC and when came back from spring or from there, got a few at bats and was able to sting the ball a little bit and coming out tonight and doing what he did, outstanding work. That's when he's able to square up the ball, it goes a long way, and we saw that tonight for sure.
Yeah, great to see. Hopefully he can keep that going, because he's obviously a major part of the team. He's going to be part of 2 platoons. He'll be part of the right field platoon and then the platoon at DH. So presumably, as long as he's healthy and producing, you're going to see him quite a bit throughout the season. That's a guy that can really lengthen this lineup if he can get going, because he does have that kind of power. And then Luke Raley was the other guy. You heard the cut there, 4th home run on the night. Well, the 3rd one took place in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Luke Raley leading off the bottom of the 5th inning with a swing and a drive deep down the right field line. It is gone. Goodbye, baseball. Luke Raley in his second at bat with his first home run of the 2026 season. Oh, how sweet it is for Luke Raley. Battled through injuries last year. He has just tied the game at 3-3. Number 1 for Luke Raley at State Fair down that right field line.
Yeah, you never really see an oblique injury. You just hear about it.
Yeah.
Except for his.
That one we saw.
Yeah, that was I think it was in
Batting
warm-ups.
practice. Yeah, that was batting practice.
Man.
Yeah, he hit the dirt like he got taken out by a sniper. He just went down and was rolling around in agony, and I'm sure it really hurt, but yeah, that last season was rough. That was a rough go for him. We talked about that he started when he was healthy. He just started off poorly. It just wasn't a good start to the season. Then that injury happened, and that all was pretty much lost.
Well, in the season before that, like, he ended really strong.
Yeah.
I mean, his September was phenomenal and lots of expectations, and then just didn't work out, and then ends up getting hurt. So it was really a crappy year for him last year. So yeah, I'm sure that what a great way for him to start off this year, and I'm sure that made him a lot happier, because that was just a huge bummer for him last year.
Yeah, and again, much like Canzone, that guy can really, really impact this lineup if he can get it going, because both guys have tremendous power. They're lefties. You've got the short porch in right field, so that obviously really plays to them in home games. Just sets up really nicely for them. And this lineup, if the middle of the lineup had a really horrible night last night, it's one game. That's not going to be who they are. So that you just look at this lineup and go, all right, well, where are the holes? Maybe it's going to be Cole Young. He's rough night for him, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, but I don't think that'll be his story all season long. So there are no obvious holes in this lineup as we sit right now. And we'll see how everybody progresses. Meanwhile, it's never good news when you see a headline about an NFL player delivering a take on a podcast. And we'll talk about a young player who stepped into that bear trap in Wyman. Coming your way next with Wyman and Bob, live from Victory Hall at Seattle Sports on 710.
Here we go.
The fellas are back at T-Mobile, opening the season with a show of power.
Stay fair. It is gone. Goodbye, baseball. Welcome to Seattle. Brendan Donovan.
Tonight, the M's look to put that first W on the board behind George Kirby on the mound. Mariners, Guardians. First pitch at 6:45.
It is going to go. Number 2 of the game for Dom Canzone.
Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Opened in 1933, our family is still here, doing the right thing for your family.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we perform an 18-point maintenance check with every oil change to help make sure you're good to go.
And?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Huh. Wonder why the dealership isn't that easy.
Well, we'd let you know if we found something in our check.
Oh, great. That was easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, thorough, and honest, come with no charge.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Seattle Sports.
Imagine all that can happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes are going to come out, but what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price never changed for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most. That finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats. You get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices and no one battling for bandwidth. For the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony, and you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings attached. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6-7, your internet's going to stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi, all with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions do apply. Select plans only.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman speaking to those who have recently been diagnosed with prostate cancer. It's important to know you have several options for treatment. I'm here with Dr. Moyer, medical director of the Swedish Radiosurgery Center, to talk about one of the best and technologically advanced treatment options, CyberKnife. Dr. Moyer, why is CyberKnife one of the best procedures to treat prostate cancer?
Well, treatment for prostate cancer can affect men's quality of life. It can affect their romantic life. It can affect their urine and bowel function. And the CyberKnife does the best job of preserving that function while having excellent cancer control rates.
What do your patients think of the CyberKnife treatment experience?
Well, at the Swedish CyberKnife, our patients are really satisfied with the experience. They report very few side effects, and we are seeing excellent cancer control 10 years later.
To learn more about CyberKnife for prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate or call 206-320-7187. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
Why, man? Why?
Lunch has been canceled today due to lack of hustle. Deal with it.
He's a habitual line stepper.
What were you thinking? What are you doing?
Why are you the way that you are?
It's the Why Man of the Week.
Wyman is presented by Mazda of Everett, and we start with the obvious number one candidate here. Guy we talked about last week, a young guy who, as a player, you really liked what you saw out of him until he suffered a season-ending injury. And then, you get a mic in front of some of these guys, and you're going, okay, bad idea. Bad idea to ask their thoughts, to get deeper than football. We've seen it multiple times with Puka Nacua. He should only talk football. That should be it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's so disappointing when you think a certain way about someone, you really want to like them, and then they open their mouths.
Yeah. Puka's kind of had the title of the village idiot to this point, but I think there's a new sheriff in town because Cam Scatabo was on the Bring the Juice podcast and was basically talking about CTE, talking about asthma, thinking those are all just, those aren't real, is basically what he had to say.
No. It's an excuse.
I think asthma's an excuse too.
Yeah.
Is that a hot take?
No, that's a good take.
That's valid.
Yes, asthma's fake.
Is there anything worse than when you're in 4th grade and someone's huffing and puffing, you're just soft?
Yeah, just literally
be better.
Breathe air.
Yeah, just breathe. Yeah. He's a thinker.
Well, no.
He's a thinker. We missed the first part of that cut. I'm not sure what happened to that, but he was asked, does he think CTE is real? And that's when he said, no, it's not. In addition to that, asthma's fake, and I'm sure he might have had a whole list of other things he thinks. Maybe the world's flat. He's a flat earther.
Who was it about the concussions? It said those are.
That was Puka.
Yeah.
He said it's all in your head.
Right.
He wasn't being literal.
I think he's like permanently concussed. Like he walks around concussed all day long.
Yeah, I think both of them have suffered trauma. If this is the way that they think and it makes sense to them, yeah, there might be some early damage to both of them there, but just moronic. And then, of course, the apology came, which I'm guessing he had very little or nothing to do with the writing of, but it came out. And
Scatteraboo was talking about something about, I think he got his mom, there was a quote from his mom about how he, had an inhaler or something like that. So it's kind of like he's saying, hey, I was just joking around because I know it's real. And that was kind of his defense.
I hadn't heard that. I hadn't heard that he had an inhaler.
Yeah, he said, I think his mom said that, and he may not have. I don't know. They might have just made it up or something. But his mom intervened in one way, so to try to help, save, pull his
save her boy.
Out of the fire. Yeah, so
from looking like the king dope out there. Jeez.
But I love watching him play. And,
yeah.
So
just play and keep the mics away from him. He'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just talk to him about football and leave it there. But even then, you were talking about CTE, and he's like, no, it's not real. So there you go. All right. There's entry number one. Number two comes from Dan Orlovsky, and apparently had a pretty interesting take about the projected first overall draft pick, Fernando Mendoza.
Okay, so in the biggest games, so the college football playoffs started, and they played opening.
Well, you can start at the Big Ten championship, I guess. You can say Big Ten.
Okay, Big Ten championship. Okay, Big Ten championship. In that game, they're down 13-6 going into the fourth quarter. Indiana.
And then what?
Boom.
But we're talking about all the moments. You're talking about traits. It's like, okay, how about 2nd and 17?
6 points through the first 3 quarters. People.
Ohio State's defense is a historic defense. Like, what are we even talking about?
People crucified Arch Manning for doing that. On the road.
Crucified Arch Manning. Arch Manning's not a part of this conversation.
Well, if you go by that, too, like Indiana beat Alabama, 38-0? I mean, it's,
Yeah, so we're just picking and choosing.
I like Orlovsky. I think he's got some interesting takes. I think he looks at things in a different way. When he talked to us about the run game for the Seahawks being slow, remember? He was talking about, like, slow to the line. He was talking about Ken Walker, who obviously turned out to be the game's MVP, but he just tends to look at it a different way. This is not a good one for him, because you're talking about an undefeated team, and much like we talked about with Sam Darnold, there are certain games where they didn't need him to chuck it all over the place. It was unnecessary to put the ball in harm's way because they were in command of these games, some of which he's talking about. So I get you're trying to play devil's advocate on some level, maybe saying, he's not that great, and I'll tell you why, but it's running a little hollow there.
Well, and I think that for him and his job, there is, there's a temptation to kind of say, hey, let's, pump the brakes here. And having played in the NFL, it's like, okay, he's probably going to struggle. And, I was going to say, I don't think he'll be proven wrong until maybe the second half of his rookie year, because it's going to be rough no matter who you are, whether you're a first pick of the draft or not. So, but yeah, I think that he's encouraged to do those kinds of things, and he does have different takes. Yeah, that was a kind of a head scratcher where he was talking about the speed of our run game. So, but yeah, kind of gave an insight to how he has a different look on things. But yeah, I think on this one, there was just maybe a tiny bit of criticism, because everybody has a hole in their game, right? And, maybe they just kind of opened it up for him a little bit there, but we'll see.
Yeah. Last one, don't have any audio, but you do have the story out there if you want to see it. There's a writer for the Oklahoma City Thunder. His name is, Clemente Almanza, I guess is how you say his name. I'd hate to screw that up. But he believes that Seattle owes Oklahoma City an apology if the Sonics want their history back. Now, he couldn't be this dumb, right? He couldn't have written that with a straight face, thinking, I've got a salient point here. I'm really digging beyond the surface here and getting down to the nitty gritty, and I've got a solid point to make. His quote in the story was, but if they want their Sonics history back, an apology is in order. That's what happens when you have nearly 2 decades of misguided anger. of which all of that anger was directed right at him. And he got, I mean, that story took off. He was just being savaged by Seattle fans, and deservedly so. It was a stupid, stupid point. He had no ground to stand on. It was about as tone deaf as you could possibly be, which I think he probably knew. I think he understood, I write this story's going to go nuts. It's going to get 1 million clicks, and people are going to engage with it in a way they've never engaged with anything I've ever said or written in my life, and may never again. This was his shot, and he took it.
Yeah. Well, and that's something that I've always felt so bad about, the Sonic players that played in that year. They don't really have a home. They don't have their history and evidence of it, you know. And yeah, that's the thing I think would probably be. And we talked to Dale Shrimp the other day, and he's like, well, we all get together and everything. I'm like, yeah, but what about having like that home base that you just don't have here in Seattle?
Well, the agreement, by all accounts, is that when the team does come back to Seattle, all of that history reverts back to Seattle. So the idea that he's saying they should sort of hold it hostage until we get an apology, then we'll give it back. Well, it's really not up to you.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll apologize. How about that?
No.
I'll get a hold of this guy and just say, hey, I'm sorry.
No.
Now give us our crap
Don't
back.
do that.
Okay.
Don't do that. No. Who
cares?
I can't allow you to do that, Dave.
Get your apology.
And he's got no say in the matter. He's just a writer out there saying, this is what should happen in order to give it back to him. So he got the attention, even though it was all negative, and he got the clicks. So I assume that was the intention with that story, because he couldn't possibly be that tone deaf.
What's his name? Hector
Clemente Almanza.
Alamente?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
So there you go.
Yeah. I'll say sorry. I'll apologize to him.
I rebuke that.
Hector Salamanca.
I rebuke your apology. I'm canceling it out. All right, we'll get you ready for the rest of the Mariners homestand with a member of that broadcast team. Our buddy Gary Hill Jr. will join us next as we continue live from Victory Hall. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
It's the biggest development yet since the Sonics left for OK.
Wait a minute.
You better watch your mouth, sunshine.
One step closer.
The NBA Board of Governors did vote yes to explore expansion here in Seattle.
Stay up on the very latest on the NBA's potential return to Seattle at seattlesports.com. And the conversation continues on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
We are on a magic carpet ride.
Hi, Sarah here with Safeway. We're proud to partner with Champions of Change co-founder Doug Baldwin to help nourish Washington students through the Nourishing Champions program.
Thanks, Sarah. And here's the reality. Every day, students across our state are staying after school for extracurriculars on empty stomachs, and some of them don't know where their next meal will come from. Food insecurity is reaching crisis levels, and the impact on our youth will extend far beyond this moment. The good news is that there's an answer in the federally funded after-school meals programs. But right now, Washington schools' participation is very low, reaching only 2% of the students who qualify.
That's where Nourishing Champions comes in. We're offering grants that not only fund food, but also resource and training support for the schools to offer an after-school meal program for years to come.
Our goal is to reach 10,000 more students in the first year of these grants and then grow from there. School staff can learn more and apply today at championsofchangefoundation.org and navigating to the Nourishing Champions tab. That's championsofchangefoundation.org and click on the Nourishing Champions tab.
It is time to rewind with the Nostalgia and Retro Convention in Puyallup this weekend. Get autographs and photos with Hall of Famer Edgar Martinez and Jay Buhner. Meet Dennis Rodman and Horace Grant, Sergeant Slaughter in the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Music fans can meet J.C. Chazé from NSYNC, Tiffany and Debbie Gibson. Dive into a world of classic TV and movies with Ponch and John from Chips, Steve Gutenberg and Bobcat Goldthwait from Police Academy, and so many more. Saturday and Sunday at the fair in Puyallup. Buy tickets now at rewindwa.com.
When a storm wreaks havoc on your home's electrical with the devastation of Jormungandr, summon the protective might of Hunt Services. Our legendary 5-point inspection with whole home surge protection will keep your home powered like a Hammer Mjolnir. Now only $349. Or let us inspect your outdated panel for safety hazards and get $500 off your new installation if needed. Get on the horn and call Hunt for your electrical inspection, whole home surge protection, or panel replacement today.
I need a little range, step to the range.
There's a new flavor in town, the Jalapeno Ranch Club at Chick-fil-A. With that juicy Chick-fil-A original spicy or grilled chicken, a buttermilk ranch bun, candied bacon, pepper jack cheese, and jalapeno ranch sauce. It's got big ranch vibes with a little heat. Chick-fil-A's new Jalapeno Ranch Club. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
And we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Well, 15-time major champion Tiger Woods was arrested on suspicion of DUI today after he was involved in a car crash not far from his home on Jupiter Island in Florida. He was driving a Land Rover northbound on South Beach Road at a high speed when he attempted to pass a truck hauling a pressure cleaner, which had slowed down to turn into a driveway. Woods swerved to avoid the truck but clipped the back of the trailer, which sent the Land Rover on its side, slid down the road. He climbed out of the passenger window to get out. The other driver and Woods both came out of it unscathed, apparently. But they did have DUI investigators on the scene and determined Woods showed signs of impairment. They said they did tests on him. He was explaining his injuries and surgeries that he had. Apparently, he did take a breathalyzer and didn't show any signs of alcohol. He refused to submit to a urinalysis test for other drugs, according to the sheriff.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Mariners get back to it tonight. Game 2 of their series with the Guardians. George Kirby will be on the hill, and this man will be on the call as well as our guy Rick Rizzs. We love talking to this guy. He's with us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Gary Hill Jr. is with us. How are you, man?
I love talking to you as well.
thank you. It's great to be here.
We're picturing you sitting in the booth right now with somewhere behind you, planted on a computer screen, a picture of Matt Nelson. Does that happen?
Yes. Yeah, I would have been with you. I would have been with you today, but Matt told me that you guys just didn't want to look at my face, and I was like, "Well, Matt, that's really hurtful." But I understand. I understand where you're coming from. So yes,
Gary, come on now. I'm gonna pull a picture of you up on the internet right now, just so we can all
pretend we're talking to you live and seeing you.
That's a great idea.
What kind of talk is that?
Hey, so give us your takeaway. You know, obviously it didn't turn out the way we wanted in Game 1. Is there a point in playing the next 161, or should they just cash it in now?
Yeah, well, I was surprised. It looks like everyone has showed up today, so I think we're gonna have a Game 2. Yeah, it is a bummer to lose the first game of the series or first game of the season. You know, because there's so much anticipation and a big crowd, and it's just a letdown when you lose Game 1. But as we all know, it is just one of 162. So I certainly thought there were some bright spots, a bigger picture. You know, when I think about the Mariners' offense in particular this year, I'm really excited about the top 5. I think they're going to do a ton of damage, and I think it makes them already like a top 10 offense, given, I think, the production that we're going to see. What I'm interested is that kind of group, that the 3 guys of Raley, Canzone, and Cole Young, because I feel like those 3 guys can really take this thing to the next level. If you got a bounce back from Raley, I still feel like we don't really know what kind of hitter Canzone can be for a full season. We've certainly seen that in spurts, but I feel like those 3 can really elevate this to the next level. And certainly you have to like the start that Canzone had with the 2 home runs, Raley the home run. He looked healthy running around, which was great. So I think some good signs looking at the offense for the Mariners, because when I look at that part of the order especially, they really should do some damage against right-handed pitchers in particular.
Yeah, that was really cool to see. I mean, especially you know, for Canzone, because that was a rough postseason that he had, and so just seeing him get out there, and also, I don't know, it's just also very heartwarming that it's not one of the guys that you necessarily were talking about going in, right? I mean, Luke Raley and Dom Canzone are great pieces and everything, but they're kind of like, we really hope that they come on. So just, yeah, it couldn't have been a better start for those 2 guys.
And for Raley, for me, he's a guy that I've really circled, because you look at what he did 2 years ago. He was one of the Mariners' best hitters 2 years ago, and he has a ton of pop, especially against righties. You know, 20-plus home run guy. And you think about what that kind of production could mean again in this lineup. I mean, you're talking about really lengthening things. And when JP comes back and the time kind of at bats he'll give you, it's pretty exciting, I think, when you look at the lineup up and down, potentially what it could be.
Hey, as far as Logan goes, what was your takeaway from his performance?
I thought he was good. The one pitch I know he'd want back is that cutter to Rocchio that he just left over the plate. That was unfortunate, because there was 2 runs, 2 RBI base hit. But I think his stuff was good. You know, he was punching guys out. I thought he pitched really well. I thought he looked good, looked healthy. That whole thing I thought was good. It's just that one pitch I think he'd love to have back, because especially the 9th hitter in the order, and just left it over the heart. That was unfortunate. Outside of that, though, especially for a first start of the season, I thought he was good. It's encouraging.
Yeah, Gary, as far as the reception there, and, you know, is that kind of what you expected? I mean, it was really cool as far as the, you know, for the fans and everything. And you had Leonard Williams' appearance out there, and then the first pitch ceremony. Was it, you know, it's kind of hard to capture that on TV. I was watching it on television, but there at the ballpark, you got the best seat in the house. How cool was that opening night and all the ceremonies they had planned?
It was amazing. I love opening night, and the Mariners do it so well. And you know, the thing I was thinking about the most is the last time we were kind of all together in this ballpark. You think about, you know, it was the Geno Grand Slam, right? The walk-off beating the Blue Jays. That's the last time we were all together here in the same place. So for me, I don't know about other people here, but for me, I had a lot of those memories flooding back. Like, wow, you know, the last time we were here, all of that emotion and excitement and the way this place was rocking. And we got a taste of that last night, too, with a full house last night. People are so excited. I know you get the same thing when I walk around and everyone is talking about the expectation level for this team and what they can do in World Series. It is just so fun, and I hope everyone's just embracing this right now. And we don't know what this season is going to be. We don't know what it's going to end up looking like for the Mariners. Maybe they will win it all. We don't know what's going to happen, but I hope everyone is embracing going into this kind of season with this team and the expectations, because it is pretty fun when you look around and no matter who's talking about what national pundit you want to talk about or national group you want to look at, and when they're talking about, okay, teams that can win the World Series, the Mariners are always in that conversation, and it's a fun place to be.
Gary, we were talking to Riz earlier and just talking about the player intros last night, coming down the magenta carpet and all that. It struck me, I don't know if you picked up on it, but of all of the players announced, I mean, Cal and Julio and everybody, it felt like to me, and maybe people in the stadium had a different view of it, but just from where we were at there in the broadcast booth and watching it back on TV, that Josh Naylor got the biggest ovation out there. And, you know, maybe holding the trident helped, you know, him pumping that up in the air. But it also, it just speaks to how quickly he bonded with this city, with his fan base, with his teammates, and what a fit it's been. But did you pick up on that at all?
Yeah, man. The whole thing, I think, has been incredible. And, I mean, I'll ask you guys, too. I can't think of another athlete in this city that has bonded as quickly as Josh Naylor has to this fan base. And I think it works both ways. I think it happened for Josh Naylor with this fan base as well. They both just love one another, and it happened immediately. It's been incredible. And you're right. I'm glad he didn't try and jog with the trident. I think that would have been a mistake. That's pretty heavy. I'm glad he gave it up right away. But, man, it's just he has been totally embraced, and the love goes back and forth, which is so fun. And, you know, I was thinking about it, too, because there's a lot of similarities to me between Naylor and Brendan Donovan, both as kind of players and people. And I think the fan base, and it helps certainly when you homer and you're very first at bat, but I think the fans are going to embrace him pretty quickly too. I think we'll see the same sort of thing that we saw with Naylor, because there's a lot to love about Donovan as well.
Hey, have you picked that trident up?
I have, yes. It's
what are
it's
we
weighty.
talking?
It's heavy.
30-some pounds, right?
Is it 30?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah, it's everybody that touches it says. They had it here one time we were here. Maybe you weren't here that day, but they actually brought it over. And, yeah, it is surprisingly heavier than you think it is.
Heavier, and especially for someone like me with Gumby arms, you know, it's heavier than it is for the players, certainly. So,
well, I worry about the injuries that might occur, you know, and there hasn't been one, right?
No, it's good too because it's pretty sharp on top. Like you got to be careful you point that thing with people around. Yeah, they've avoided all of that, which is great. I think. Maybe I'm biased in this. You know, we've seen home run celebrations for every team now. I think the trident blows them all away. I think it's so much better than what every other team is doing right now. I think the trident is great. And I love it when, you know, they point it to the sky, looking at the crowd and the fans being on the dugout, get into it. I love the whole thing. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, it's better than Toronto's got the jacket with all the patches on it. What do those dopes in Houston do? What do they have?
I don't even remember what they do.
A garbage can.
That would be apropos.
That's a good one. Yeah, Baltimore does that weird, drink
the
thing.
water.
Yeah, which is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember what Houston's is, but certainly it's dumb.
It's something stupid.
Yeah, it's something
you can
really
count
dumb.
on that, Bob. Certainly it's dumb.
That's right. Hey, the Naylor thing is really the way you put that. I think is it's like the fan base and Josh Naylor fell in love with each other like right away. I wonder what it is. Like it's because we had an interview with him where he's like, I think this is a hitter's park. You know, when he said that, and then he talked about the fans. I don't know. There's something about like his responses, and he's very serious. Because I think a lot of guys that come here would say something like that. Of course, like, oh man, I can't. I probably said that when I went to Denver, even though I hated them before I got there. But you know, like, oh yeah, the fans here, this and that. But I don't know. There's some authenticity that Naylor has. Maybe it's because of his demeanor and kind of his mood. It's a little on the quirky side. I don't know. It's just he is a very interesting player in that way. And then, you know, the fact that whether it's on the base paths or at the plate or playing defense. I mean, he's all about winning. And there's something that's like a perfect love affair with the fans here in Seattle and him, because it's almost odd how quickly people have picked up on him.
Authenticity, I think, is a great word, because I think that comes across with him. And I think people really appreciate the way he plays. And I think Seattle has been like that in no matter what sport you're looking at. I always think about Gary Payton in this regard. And I think one of the things that people always loved about the glove is he gave it on, he put it on the line every night, and you knew it, right? I mean, he worked so hard defensively, and, his back was messed up. It didn't matter. He was giving it the all game, every single night. And I think this city always appreciates, whether you're talking about the Seahawks or the Mariners or the Sonics. I think fans in the city have always appreciated that sort of guy, that sort of player. And I think Naylor has some of that, and I think fans really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think Richard Sherman had a little bit of that. Like he had like a stubbornness.
Well, he was brash. He was outspoken. He was he was a braggart on and he would challenge the opposition.
He was authentic.
Yeah, he was authentic, and more importantly, he backed it up. I think that's what Peyton did, and that's what Sherm did, and anybody who's been really vocal that way. And that was. They love that guy that on any other team they go, man, that guy's a jerk.
Oh, you hate him.
And I get the sense, I get the sense from Naylor that he really appreciates, like, he is himself here, and he appreciates everyone loves who he is, right? I think that's for a player, you got to love that.
Hey, what's your? I don't imagine it's good. It doesn't sound like it's going to be too long for JP that he'll be back in the lineup before we know it, but. I feel okay with Rivas out there, and I thought he made a nice play deep in the hole last night. Remember going to his right. He fires a one-hopper perfectly to Naylor at first base. It was a nice play, but I think defensively he probably has a little more range than JP does at this point of his career. We'll see what he does offensively, but when you look at the absence of JP, I've said I feel like it's almost more his leadership, his just being there in the dugout during the game, being there in the clubhouse. What's your take on his absence for this team and what it means?
Yeah, and also I would say he's pretty solid in the lineup too as well. Like his on-base percentage, I think when you look at how this lineup is constructed, his on-base percentage towards the bottom of the lineup, I think can be really important for the Mariners, because I think we got a taste of it a little last night, but I think we'll see it more and more, especially with Donovan at the top. Like, opposing teams can run into trouble fast, especially if bottom of the order guys are getting on. Like, if JP's batting eighth or whatever, and he's rolling with a 350 on base, something like that, like, that's big for this team, because that means there's guys getting on base for Donovan, and all of a sudden they're facing Cal. I think you get in hot water pretty fast. So I think they're missing that as well. But I think Rivas has a pretty important role to play for the Mariners, not only for times like this, where he's kind of the guy at shortstop for the near term, but you look at how the lineup is for the Mariners on a day like tonight, and they are pretty left-handed heavy when you look at the bottom line. Not pretty left-handed heavy, they are left-handed heavy. Basically from the time Raley hits until Donovan again, when JP's in the lineup. So I think Rivas is not only a great guy to have on the bench, can move around, but also a switch hitter. He's versatile there, and he can come in and bat maybe for a tough lefty, because he'll give you a good at bat. That's what I also like about him. Like, he runs out a really good on base percentage last year. He's got a little bit of pop, but he'll give you a good at bat. And I think that's a really good skill set to have for a guy that can move around and be the first guy off the bench. So I think he's really valuable to the Mariners right now.
Hey, one guy that's kind of difficult to get a read on is Rosarena. And I'm just curious, Gary, what you expect from him this year. And I don't know. There's just something about him. Obviously, we don't hear from him except through a translator, and that's a huge part of it. But I don't know. I love the look on his face when he's at the plate. He looks like determined, like he wants to rip your head off. I love that about him, but never really been able to get kind of put a finger on the pulse there as far as what kind of a player he is, what kind of a guy he is, what kind of a teammate he is. How would you describe him?
Yeah, I think it's really good for him to be back in the spot of the lineup that he's at. I think, give him credit for batting at the top of the order last year, because the Mariners didn't have anyone that was a natural fit in that spot. So it was Randy for a while last year at the top. I think it is much better for him and the Mariners to be where he's at in the 5th spot right now, because I think he's going to get a chance to drive in a ton of runs this year. And the thing that we know about Arozarena, he's going to be a 2020 guy. We know that because he's a 2020 guy every single year. And I'm excited to see where, some of those counting stats end up, because I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities. And like RBIs, to me, it's an opportunity stat. The more chances you get to drive in runs, the more runs you're going to drive in. And I think he's going to get a ton of opportunities. I think he's going to bat with guys aboard a lot this year. And we see him do damage. Last year, 27 home runs, creeping up on 30. He was practically a 30-30 guy. And I think he's got a chance to do it again. So I'm excited to see what he can do this season. And he's part, when I talk about the top 5 of this order, he is part of that top 5. Like, the Mariners need him to be productive. And I think he's got a chance to be super productive where he's at.
What's your level of confidence in Cole Young? We saw some success last year. We certainly saw him take a dip towards the end of the season. He looks physically different. He had a great spring. I know it's just one game last night, but just what you saw from him in spring and a realistic expectation for him.
Yeah, so realistic expectation for me is a guy that does not have to carry the load offensively, which I think is important to think about when you think about a player that's still really young. I think that part gets overlooked a little bit when we talk about Cole Young and kind of the way he has made it to the majors. You look at high schoolers from his draft class. There's only 4 that have broken to the major leagues, and Cole Young is one of them. So it's funny when we think about prospects. Sometimes their shine can wear off once they get to the major leagues and struggle a little bit, but that happens to everybody. Everybody struggles. Cal is the perfect example of that. When he broke into the majors, he really struggled. And in the year that he hit the home run to put the Mariners into the postseason, he was sent down that year and struggled massively to start the season. So I always think it's important to keep that in mind, especially when you're talking about Cole Young, who's 21, right? And I also think about his year last year, and you pointed out he struggled at the end, he struggled at the beginning. It was kind of a bookends of struggle. But in between that, it was like 50 games of a 280 batting average, a 370 on-base percentage, and that's really good. And I know he showed a ton of pop in spring training, which is great. If he wants to mix in some homers, that's awesome. But for me, I think what's most important is just try and pass the baton, because he's going to be towards the bottom of the lineup. And I mentioned it already with JP at the bottom. If he can just find his way to hit some gaps with line drives, carry a decent on-base percentage, and just try and set the table for the top of the lineup, I think that would be huge for this team. And I think it is different than a few years ago when, Kelnick came up, for example, and you were asking him to really make an impact and help carry things. I think this is a whole different scenario. You're not asking Cole Young to carry the offense. You're just asking him to contribute. And I think for a young player, that's such an easier ask. And from our perspective, kind of looking from the outside, that's how I think we should view this with Cole Young this year.
Gary, it's only one game into the season, but it's all we have to talk about. So
yes.
We're going to go with Ben Williamson. He went 3 for 4 last night. Bob pointed this out. And he had 3 hits, an RBI. Are you a guy that's like ultimately we got Brendan Donovan out of it, right?
Yes.
So that's all we care about. But are you a guy that tracks players like that, and are you going to keep track of them and feel bad about it, or are you like, hey, we got Donovan, the end?
Oh, yeah. So I like to follow just to see what they do. But for me, I don't think it's necessary that the Mariners have to win trades. And I think, I know a lot of times we always talk about winning trades. I don't care. The Mariners got Brendan Donovan, and he's the perfect fit. It's who they needed. Like, I'm rooting for Williamson. Like, I really like him. I think he has a chance to be a good player. I hope he is a good player. And that shouldn't affect how the Mariners look at this trade, because he's not Brendan Donovan right now. Brendan Donovan is, and he's the perfect fit. He's exactly what the Mariners needed. A guy at the top of the order, a guy to get on base, can play third, can move around, leadership, the whole thing. He's the perfect fit. And I think about that with all these trades the Mariners have pulled off, whether you're talking about the Naylor trade or the Rosarena trade or the Castillo trade. You can line up all of those prospects. And I think the Mariner fans should feel great about all of them. And if Noelvi Marte for the Reds this year makes an all-star team and has a great year, I think that's great. And the Mariner fans should not feel bad about Castillo being part of that deal, right? Like Castillo has helped get the Mariners to the postseason twice, right? It's a good trade for the Mariners. So I don't think you have to win a trade. I will say, though, I think one of the things the Mariners have done really well is they have held on to kind of who have been the pillars of the organization. You know, whether you're talking about Cal or Julio or Logan Gilbert or George Kirby, because you think about all the trade deadlines the past few years, I mean, all those guys have been asked for when they were young players, but they held them. And they've been the pillars of this organization. So I think the Mariners have done a really good job of trading from their minor league system, which is part of the minor league system. It's not only guys to help you, but to get who you need, but also holding on to kind of the stars and the pillars. So that's how I kind of look at it.
I like it.
Gary, great stuff, man. We appreciate it as always, and we'll see you later on. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll see you in person next time. I won't let Matt determine.
Yeah. Yeah, don't let him scare you away.
I won't let his insults get to me. Yeah, I won't let him bring me down.
He is kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
Yes, he
well,
is.
Gary, sorry, we really have to go to break, though. Bye.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Talk to you guys soon.
There you go. There's Gary Hill Jr., part of that Mariners broadcast team that's so good. If you guys missed any part of that conversation, you can find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. And the Mariners' first homestand is jam-packed with epic events and matchups. Of course, you can score a Cal Raleigh 60-home run bobblehead on Saturday thanks to Alaska Airlines. Catch a star-powered showdown against Aaron Judge and the Yankees Monday through Wednesday. Seattle Sports will be broadcasting live as we are today here at Victory Hall. We'll be here every Friday home game, and we start at 2 p.m. in case you weren't aware of that. Check out the complete schedule. Get your tickets at mariners.com. Meanwhile, is the day after game one too early to hit the panic button? We'll talk about that next as we continue live from Victory Hall with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
It's the biggest development yet since the Sonics left for OK.
Wait a minute.
You better watch your mouth, sunshine.
One step closer.
The NBA Board of Governors did vote yes to explore expansion here in Seattle.
Stay up on the very latest on the NBA's potential return to Seattle at seattlesports.com. And the conversation continues on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
We are on a magic carpet ride.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Harley Exteriors, and you know, it's funny how you get used to things in not so ideal condition around the house. And what I mean is maybe you got a messy garage or a leaning fence. For me, it was old windows, and after 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal, and we got used to the cold drafts, the outside noises, condensation. If you're in that same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old dreary windows in your home and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. They have the spring cleaning sale going on right now to complete your home makeover. Buy 10 windows and choose from either 20% off your entire project or get a free door. And on top of that, make zero payments and accumulate zero interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade. They're manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest. They're exclusive to Harley Exteriors. And also, the people you're going to deal with, they're good people. I've really enjoyed working with them. So give them a call. 833-HARLEY, that's Harley, or go to harleyexteriors.com and schedule your free consultation and get a bid from Harley. That's harleyexteriors.com.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
You'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ Way.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Seattle Sports.
Get away from it all and discover a place where good times are guaranteed. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining at the steakhouse. Catch your favorite sports on our wall-to-wall screens and sink into pure relaxation at the spa. Tee up at Loomis Trail for championship caliber golf and experience your favorite musicians live at the event center. Visit silverreefcasino.com and book your stay today. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
Dave Wyman here with Dr. Robert Moyer from Swedish Hospital. Dr. Moyer, tell us about the amazing results prostate cancer patients are getting with Swedish CyberKnife.
Well, at the Swedish CyberKnife, our patients are really satisfied with the experience. The treatment is very effective at eradicating the cancer, has minimal side effects, and we are seeing excellent cancer control 10 years later.
Find out more at swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
Jackson Hewitt will do your taxes for $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So if you're a delivery driver, /handyman, /wedding DJ, you pay only $149 or less. We're talking to you, waitress.
Check, please.
/pet sitter, /influencer. Just $149 or less. Want your refund to work as hard as you? Hurry. Don't wait. File with Jackson Hewitt today. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
At quarterback, calling the right play could change the whole game. And when your car breaks down, same idea. Make the right call before the big repair bill hits. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. Plans include 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, and rental car options, all to keep your drive alive. Look, breakdowns happen, but choosing CarShield, that's the easiest call you'll make all day.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. We got mean text coming up in about 45 minutes. How have they been doing to this point, Matt?
How do you think? Terrible.
By that tone, sounds like poorly.
Terrible. Just terrible.
How would you describe, just in general, our texters?
Well, Dave, I think that's for the king of the morons to say. I wouldn't want to insult your
Are you king of the morons
fiefdom.
today, or is it me?
It's you.
All right. I'll take it. I'll take it. As long as I'm leading something.
You're leading the Morans.
Man, I just saw a guy who looked a lot like Ron Donnelly. which is the coach that Adam Ray is portraying right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, is that you in there, Adam?
I think he flew out, but you never know. He could surprise us. But yeah, get the mean texts in 866-979-3776. We'll do that at about 5:15. At 5:30, we'll turn you over to the Mariners pregame show. 6:45 first pitch today with George Kirby on the hill. So you can catch all of that right here, Seattle Sports on 710. But it's funny, Matt's asking the question, is the day after game one too early to hit the panic button? That would be a very obvious yes to anybody out there. But it's funny to hear Paul, kind of wringing his hands about the bullpen use last night. Are they trying to win? Is this how you would have managed it in the playoffs? Well, obviously not, because in the playoffs, you likely could have been in a win or go home situation, at which point you might have starters in the bullpen. You might have whoever's available going for you. You're trying to win at all costs.
Yeah,
this is game one of 162.
Right, but I'll defend Moyer just in a little bit and saying, look, we only got one game to react to.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to react that way. So, all right, that's fine. That's part of being a fan, And if there's nothing to complain about, what are we gonna talk about? Huh? I mean, Moyers.
There was a lot of good things that came from last night's game.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I think that I'm okay with people doing that and saying, hey, I would rather this. That's what makes it great. And remember, we had that. Trying to remember the outfielder that we have that works in the media now. But anyway, he was saying this: the culture of baseball fans is second guessing. It's a culture of second guessing every move the manager makes. Why did they put this guy in there? Why did they do this? Why? And nobody ever talks about like the dark horse where you put a guy in there and he just surprises everybody and like, hey, that was a great move. Nobody ever says that. It's always about the player. He's coming on like Canzone. Yeah. So I mean, he's not getting credit for that.
Yeah, so it's the ones that didn't work. And baseball is a sport above any other that allows a million opportunities to second guess within one game. I mean, why didn't you pinch hit this guy? Why didn't you send this guy? Why didn't this guy try to bunt? Why didn't you pull this guy? You pulled this guy too late. You pulled him too early. Well, you brought in this guy out of the bullpen instead of this guy. I mean, that is the beauty of baseball, is there are a million decisions made or not made within a game that people feel like, well, you should have made a choice here, but you didn't, or the choice you made was erroneous. It was the wrong one.
Do you think it's more in baseball than it is in football?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because
100%.
I think, well, first of all, I think football moves so fast, and baseball is just a little bit slower pace. But then, it's kind of like, why didn't you go with this guy? It's rare that you hear, why doesn't this guy get more touches or whatever. Sometimes you hear that.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as the complaints go on decisions, it's like the one I remember in that regard was the Thursday night game where it's 3rd and 15 and they hand the ball off to K9 and everybody boos and he picks up 16 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me was like just the epitome of what, probably what you get sometimes in football, but with baseball, there's just so many decisions, and again, it's all about second guessing.
Well, in baseball, you can go pitch to pitch and second guess. In football, it's one play, right? Why did you run it there? You should have thrown it there. Why did you throw it to this guy? You should have thrown it to that guy. I mean, you can second guess, and people do certainly, but in baseball, why didn't you call that pitch? This guy's a fastball hitter. You threw him a fastball. Why didn't you throw it low and away? This guy can't hit a breaking ball. You threw this instead, or the opposite is true. This guy crushes breaking balls. Why didn't you hit him up with a fastball at the top of the zone? He can't catch up to it. I mean, it's literally pitch to pitch. Yeah. You can second guess. Right. Why did Cal call for this? Why did Logan throw that? Baseball to me and football is not even close in terms of opportunities to second guess, whether it's the manager, whether it's the catcher, whether it's the pitcher, anything. There's just so much there if you like to complain, baseball's your sport.
Yeah. Remember John was talking about how Jody Allen would be up there and like, why did he fumble there? Why did he do that? But I think it's it's interesting, just, how many people, because there's time to second guess. The one thing Matt wrote in here, they struck out 14 times.
Yeah.
That, and it didn't feel like that for whatever reason, but yeah, it was, I remember that started
it didn't
to
feel like that. It kind of felt like it to me.
It kind of got away from me anyway, and I'm like, I was just kind of focusing on the positive, but
yeah, I think Cal and Julio had 3 apiece. Cole Young was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. And
that was a problem last year for a while.
Yeah, you had a lot of double-digit box scores, double-digit strikeouts and box scores. So hopefully that's something we see calm down during the season. Again, we're going on the only game we have to work with. But that's not a trend you want to see, is that strikeout number. And I think that will come down. And I think, look, that middle of your lineup was a rough night. They went 1 for 15 combined. When you look at Cal, Julio, Josh, Randy had the lone hit in the group. So it was a, rough night out of the gates, but they're going to be fine. It's going to be, look, they go out there and they crush tonight. And all of a sudden, everybody's going, "Hey, how about the Mariners? See that lineup? I'll tell you what." So it's the tune can change really quickly. Meanwhile, you hear baseball fans call into radio stations complaining about baseball managers all the time. You don't often hear a former player doing it, but you're going to hear one when we sweep the dial. Coming up next with Wyman and Bob, live from Victory Hall at Seattle Sports on 710.
It's the biggest development yet since the Sonics left for OK.
Wait a minute.
You better watch your mouth, sunshine.
One step closer.
The NBA Board of Governors did vote yes to explore expansion here in Seattle.
Stay up on the very latest on the NBA's potential return to Seattle at seattlesports.com. And the conversation continues on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
We are on a magic carpet ride.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250. Say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Talk about stepping up. It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Seattle Sports.
Hear that? Sounds like simple. Valvoline Instant Oil Change simple. No appointments. About 15 minutes to change your oil. Then out the door and back to life.
Yeah, honey, on my way.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Expert service doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
P&D Tree Service, local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. If you were hit hard by the storm, P&D Tree will remove trees and clean up while minimizing impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service, any job, big or small, safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeservice.com.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated, so don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart, just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
At quarterback, calling the right play could change the whole game. And when your car breaks down, same idea. Make the right call before the big repair bill hits. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. Plans include 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, and rental car options, all to keep your drive alive. Look, breakdowns happen, but choosing CarShield, that's the easiest call you'll make all day.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Adam Schefter said that the NFL and the Referees Association are still far apart in their negotiations.
The two sides are far apart. The talks have broken off. The way it was described to me, and it has been described to me for the last couple of weeks, Ty and I have talked about this, it was dire a couple of weeks ago. It doesn't seem like it's changed at all. And the NFLRA feels like the league is not making good faith efforts. The league feels like the NFLRA is not stepping forward and open to talking and figuring out a solution. Who knows what's right, but both sides are accusing the other of not being willing to get a deal done. And the NFL is already taking steps to basically have rules in place if there are replacement officials, whether they can review calls from Park Avenue in New York, whether there are officials being brought in from the college level, whatever it may be. I think everybody's preparing with the idea that replacement officials are certainly possible.
Well, the good news is there's still a lot of time. The bad news is it doesn't feel like they're progressing. They're moving the wrong direction, and I just hope they should just all get in a room and review tape from the last time they did this in 2012 when it was an abject failure. It was an absolute disaster. It sped up the negotiations, and they got the real refs back in business because they're looking at the lower college ranks. They're looking at the small college rank. Officials to bring in here as the new experts, if you will.
I'm totally surprised that the NFL, I haven't paid attention, obviously. Why is it not a full-time job?
Is that their biggest complaint? It's not a full-time job?
No, I'm just saying that I think it should be. It absolutely should be. It's a very important job. And the NFL is really, the biggest show. And you don't have full-time officials. My dad would call that Mickey Mouse. It's very Mickey Mouse.
It is, but
you too? Brenna's dad also. By the way, it's my dad's birthday today. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday to
84.
What's your dad's name again?
Mike.
Mike Wyman.
Yeah.
Mike Wyman. Happy birthday to him.
Michael Von Wyman.
And he's definitely tuned in right now to us, right? Listening on the app from Arizona.
Well, yeah, actually they do. They do listen.
Well, hopefully
so
he gets
you better
that
say
happy
nice
birthday.
things about me, Bob.
Well, now that's
my mom's listening. I'll tell on you.
Well, you don't want angry mothers. We've heard a few on the show in years past.
Sweeping the dial.
Raiders GM John Spytek broke down where their relationship stands with Max Crosby.
My relationship with Max since I've gotten here has been great. You know, we had a lot of conversations throughout the season, at the end of the season, obviously, through the offseason, and obviously we were presented with a challenging and difficult decision to make. And, you know, things have a way of going a certain way and working out the way that they're supposed to. And, you know, we welcomed him like he never left, because he really never did.
Yeah.
And excited to see him to work hard and attack the rehab like we know. And I know, you know, he's going to be back ready to rock in August this year and have a bunch of many good years ahead of him still.
Things have a way of working out in a certain type of way, something along those lines. But
that's what he said.
He did actually kind of leave because he was in the Ravens building. Remember, he talked about the GM not coming to speak with him.
If you were there, would you say, technically, he did leave?
He kind of did leave. He was excited. He talked about how excited he was in that Ravens building, and he was ready to meet the coach and meet the GM, and let's get this going. And, yeah, that all got squashed. So I don't know how they salvage this. Obviously, you know, it can happen. I mean, if they don't find a trade partner, then they have to figure out how to make it work. But he seemed to make it clear at the end of the season he'd be okay with leaving there. He was very excited, as he said, to be a part of the Ravens organization. They obviously wanted to trade him. They pulled off a trade. So how do you both come back together and go, oh, man, I love you, man. I love being here. I can't wait.
I never wanted to trade you.
Yeah. And for his part, is he going to be like, I never want to leave. I love this place. It just feels like there's some damage control there.
Well, and I think that would be my first move if I'm Clint Kubiak. I would do exactly that. Go, hey, man, just so you know, I did not want to trade you.
Yeah.
I didn't want, because, I mean, it's kind of like that Boye Mafe thing, right? I mean, we knew the writing was on the wall that he was probably going to sign somewhere else because they were trying to trade him.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think Max Crosby is going to thrive no matter where he is. If he stays in Las Vegas, fine. He is a great football player. I really started paying attention to him this year, watching him. He's special, but I just don't know what the Raiders are doing with him. They're not going anywhere. If they presumably draft, get a quarterback at number 1, then you're going to need an offensive line. Geno got sacked. Was it 65 or 55? Maybe it was 65. 65 times last year. So, yeah, you got to protect that number 1 pick.
Sweeping the dial.
Former Giants pitcher Mike Lacoste called into KNBR to rip Giants manager Tony Vitello after the first game of the season.
Yeah, we got you, Mike. You got something for us?
You know my last name?
No, I don't. Can't say I do.
Well, you guys are really kicking some butt today. It's Lacoste. Lacoss.
Wait, Mike Lacoste was a former Giants pitcher.
There you go.
This is the pink pine tar?
That is correct.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
The hiring of the college guy, don't you think that's kind of a slap in the face to all of the minor league managers in professional baseball and all of the bench coaches in Major League Baseball that think about becoming a Major League manager? They just bypass all those guys and threw this college guy in there. And, of course, when you saw the look on his face, his first real press conference, you saw a totally different look on this guy's face, man. Like, they just saw his dog got run over in the driveway. Time will tell. Hope the guy fails or anything. I'm just saying this is going to be a tough deal. All the word salads are going to get worse and worse and worse. If they ever have a losing streak of any kind like that, you're going to see some real sad stuff.
Boy, he kind of came into that hot. You don't know who I am? You guys are really crushing it.
That was pretty funny, though.
Wow.
That part was funny.
Came in with a little attitude there. Came in a little hot. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's interesting that, he's making, Tony Vitello is making that jump from, apparently, it's unprecedented, right?
I mean, he may have a point there, but dude, you're one game into the season. It's a little early to be pulling the ripcord on this thing already and talk about what a disaster it's going to be. And maybe ultimately it will be, but boy, it seems a little, especially for a former big leaguer, to be that reactionary to one game. And maybe it was just something that's been bothering him before. Obviously, the fact that minor league managers were bypassed, they went with this guy instead. So he's waiting to pounce because it confirms his bias in this situation, that it was the wrong choice. You see how he responded. You're going to see that. He's waiting for that confirmation bias.
Did you recognize right away Mike Lacoste, that he was a pitcher?
No.
Yeah. I mean, not exactly, a household name.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he had more of a reputation out there, but it didn't ring a bell for me. But they just kind of came in hot, like, oh, you don't know who the Lacoss. You guys are really doing a great job there.
I don't think I would ever call in and say, you don't know who I am. I always assume that people don't know who I am, and so I always introduce myself.
Yeah, and then he kind of portrayed him as being less than because they didn't know right away who he was.
Like, they should have looked up his numbers and said, what was this?
Jeez, came in raring to go. All right, what do we need to see from the final two games of the Mariners season opener? We'll wrap up. This is a 4-game series, right? They got 4 with the Guardians, I believe. So they.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, come on, Matt. You knew they had 14 strikeouts. You didn't know they had 4 games in this series. What do we need to see in the final 3 games of this series? How about that? We'll talk about that. Plus, we'll get to your mean text, 866-979-3776. All of that coming your way next with Wyman and Bob live from Victory Hall at Seattle Sports on 710.
It's the biggest development yet since the Sonics left for OK.
Wait a minute.
You better watch your mouth, sunshine.
One step closer.
The NBA Board of Governors did vote yes to explore expansion here in Seattle.
Stay up on the very latest on the NBA's potential return to Seattle at seattlesports.com. And the conversation continues on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
We are on a magic carpet ride.
Discover the ultimate diamond buying experience. Unparalleled quality at unbeatable prices.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave of Cantor Diamond. At our by appointment office, you'll receive truly personalized one-on-one service to your needs.
No high overhead of standalone stores or mall hours to pay for. We're direct diamond importers designing and manufacturing in-house, eliminating all the middlemen.
Stop overpaying at retail and enjoy serious savings on quality diamonds.
From the first consult to the final reveal, we guide you through every step, ensuring you get your dream diamond ring, necklace, or earrings without compromise.
Romantic proposals, anniversary splurges, or just because. Indulge in diamonds for less.
Call today for your private appointment for a dazzling diamond.
Call Diamond Dave at 253-272-7007. That's 253-272-7007. Or follow them on Instagram at Cantor Diamond. That's at Kantor Diamond.
Are you looking for a job or perhaps a better job? We're hiring at Pacific Power Batteries with formal training about batteries of all types, customer service, and safety in the workplace. If you're tired of some crappy job where you are now, visit PacificPowerBatteries.com. After 90 days, you'll be eligible for a paid health insurance premium, a health savings account, our bonus program, paid vacation, and more. Or stop in and talk with a store manager at Pacific Power Batteries, where good people sell reliable batteries. Come on by.
Dave Wyman here with Dr. Robert Moyer from Swedish Hospital. Dr. Moyer, tell us about the amazing results prostate cancer patients are getting with Swedish CyberKnife.
Well, at the Swedish CyberKnife, our patients are really satisfied with the experience. The treatment is very effective at eradicating the cancer, has minimal side effects, and we are seeing excellent cancer control 10 years later.
Find out more at swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Talk about stepping up. It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Hi, Flo here to say that Progressive knows that life can change quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, like when I have to take my ex off my policy.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we can do that.
And can you send them a message and tell them that they have trust issues that they need to work on?
We don't really get in the middle of these conflicts.
Also, can you let them know that I was faking interest in his band and it's probably time to grow up?
I'm not going to do it. Just know that with Progressive, you can easily make changes to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Also, I'm staying in touch with his mom because she's absolutely lovely.
Bad idea.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
What in the world is going on?
You didn't hear? You can get iPhone 16e at Cricket Wireless for $0 when you switch.
iPhone 16e for $0.
No way. Yeah, and it has Apple Intelligence so you can clean up your photos.
Clean up your photos.
Okay, but what's the hurry?
The offer ends soon.
What they said.
Switch to Cricket and get iPhone 16e for $0 with no activation fee. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line and port in on the $60 Supreme Unlimited plan. First month service charge and tax to its sale. Terms and restrictions apply. See store for details.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Taking a look at your baseball scoreboard. Oh boy, Mike Lacoste is going to be pissed about this one. Yankees beat the Giants 3-0. Giants muster one hit. Oh, goodness. They are 0-2 early in the season. We'll see if they bother playing the rest of the year. Meanwhile, top of the second in Toronto. No score between the A's and the Blue Jays. They're in Miami right now. The Marlins with a 2-0 lead over the Rockies. That one in the top of the fourth. They're in the top of the third in Atlanta. The Braves out to a 1-0 lead over the Kansas City Royals. It's the opening game for both of those teams as well. Still to come, Angels on the road to take on the Astros in Houston. You got the Tigers and Padres going in San Diego. Dodgers hosting the Diamondbacks. And, of course, the Mariners, Game 2 of their series with the Guardians coming your way with George Kirby. You can catch all of the action starting at 5:30 with the pregame show right here, Seattle Sports on 710.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. We got mean texts coming up in a little less than 15 minutes, so get those in. How they doing, Matt? Are they giving you some stuff to work with, or?
No.
No?
Nah.
Not so good?
No.
All right. I think they're going to come through in these next 15 minutes.
What leads you to that conclusion?
Hope.
Hope is important.
I think they're just saving it up. They're used to it happening later in the show, but the Mariners pregame show starts at 5:30 today, so we'll be turning it over to that coming up soon. So get those in at 866-979-3776. 7-6.
Joe in Bellevue, really inspiring here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you already good? Well, don't dive into the mean text yet, Dave.
Well, we've got so many of them.
Well,
anyway,
we don't.
I've already copied 2 of his. So
okay. Well, good work, Joe.
We'll save it.
Joe's
Way to go,
doing his
Joe.
part. He's doing his part,
He's
so
one of
that's
the-
good.
One of the few.
We like that. Meanwhile, what do you want to see in the next 3 games of this series with Cleveland before the Yankees, the hated Yankees, who are now 2-0 on the season? They took the first 2 games from the Giants, and they'll be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What are you hoping to see before that team gets to town?
Sweep them the rest of the way, of course. Now, I'm really excited to watch Kirby tonight, just because I don't know how much of the PitchCom thing is going to involve, how often he's going to use that and call his own pitches.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of interesting, especially with a guy like Cal, who's pretty much, like, I think everybody just wasn't it Wu? Who's like, look, I just throw whatever Cal puts down.
Yeah, Logan had it on his belt, because I was in the post-game presser last night. And they were talking about, hey, did you use it or did you think about using it? And he's like, well, no, Cal and I talked before the game, and I told him where I'd maybe want to do it or what. They kind of mapped it out, so to speak. So, I don't know if every pitcher is going to wear it just in case, or if it's just going to be a couple of guys. But I could see Logan just messing with him, like, no, fastball.
I don't know
no splitter. No, I want a splitter.
Well, they do have that commercial.
Yeah.
Where remember he's like compliment her.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how often Kirby uses it, and I think I get the feeling deep down it bothers you because you feel like he's not trusting Cal.
Well, no, I mean I'm actually for it, because I think anything that can get him going. Remember last year there was some conversation with Kirby, and this is why I think he's one of the more interesting pitchers in the rotation, is that, he was kind of rethinking, like, he's very adverse to walking.
Yeah.
And so some of the location of his pitches and stuff that, like, I think he was trying to get, the corners a little bit more, the edges, and that kind of changed for him, and it seemed to kind of help him for a while. And then, if this helps him, if this is just something, we talk about, what was the phrase the coach used yesterday on the show, like, hit it, target practice or something like that?
Oh, yeah, for the hitters, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think a lot of times in baseball, it's just like one phrase or one word that helps you. And, if it helps him to be in control, in total control, maybe that clicks something in his brain.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, he's got so much ability. I mean, Kirby's got so much upside, and we've seen it. Last year was a rough start because he started the year on the IL, so that was a bit rough. But
yeah. Well, and Ryan Rowland-Smith told us that, if you're going to trade away anybody in that rotation, George Kirby 1,000% would bring back the most.
Yeah.
The most draft capital, the most talent, everything. So he's highly coveted around the league. And, I just want to see him be dominant.
Yeah, and he's certainly got that capability because we've seen it. So, yeah, I'm excited to see him out there. But in terms of the whole series, what I'd like to see, first of all, you want to see the middle of your lineup get going. It's one game that that we can respond to at this point. The middle of your lineup did nothing. So you want to see that. But I'd like to see that strikeout number be something that really comes down as the season goes on. When everybody gets comfortable and they kind of find their rhythm in the season, I want to see that strikeout total go down. You got 14 strikeouts last night. That's not good. Let's do our best to get that under double digits if we can. That's been the story with this offense for a number of years. Even when they weren't a good offense, there was a lot of strikeouts happening there. So hopefully they can kind of bring that number down. Want to see that on base go up a bit. Just see some of these guys get on base. But again, we're all we have to go on is one game to this point. So we'll see is after you get a month under your belt, where is this team after 30 games? Yeah. What have they done? What do they look like?
Yeah. By the way, I was trying to remember the name of the player that we talked to that said, all the things about the nature of baseball is that it's a second guessing. It was Doug Glanville.
Oh,
Doug Glanville. I thought really, said a lot of really good things. He was just, just right on as far as, what fans are going through. And, we heard it from Moyer today, even after one game. There's the second guessing. So, and that's the best part of being a fan, I think, in baseball.
Yeah, it's part of the fun. It's part of the fun unless you take it very seriously to the point like I felt like Paul was kind of taking it a little far after one game. Like you didn't manage it like you would in the postseason, and you're trying to win the game, like sort of implying they weren't really trying to win. I'm like, yeah, it's game one versus maybe a lose and go home situation in the postseason. So yeah, there is going to be a different approach if you're talking about a playoff situation. And I get looking at the lineup the way that he was talking about. And maybe they shuffle it, but I don't know that there's going to be an overcorrection to anything after one game or one series or one homestand for that matter, unless you see some just horrible moments from players out there. I think they're going to let these guys find their rhythm a bit here. Let the season get going. Let them get into it, and then we're going to see. All right, maybe we're going to move this guy. Maybe we'll drop Cal down to 3. Maybe we'll put Naylor at 2 like he wanted, and split up the strikeouts or whatever. The lineup isn't going to be static. It's not going to be this is how it is for the rest of the season. But right. I don't think there's going to be a wild overcorrection either based on one game.
By the way, 425 texts in, Kirby is a control freak. Okay, that's fine. I mean, and as long as Cal gives him a little bit of leash there, and maybe it'll work out. He just seems like such a fiery competitor that I'd let him loose, let him go. Call your own pitches every once in a while.
He's the one throwing them, man. Yeah. You want that guy to be comfortable,
right? Whatever
makes you comfortable, and as long as Dan's on board and everybody knows this is the deal, then I would say that for all 5. Yeah. Any starter out there that's got, hey man, this makes me more comfortable if we call it in this sequence, or if you let me do this and you do that, whatever it is, if it leads to a win, then do that.
Right.
I don't care.
Or you being more successful. I mean, look, like I said, there's all kinds of different things that make people click, but I think it would be really interesting to see if that's something that would really spark George Kirby, because I always reference the fact that Ryan Rowland-Smith said that he knows what he's talking about, and I don't think that we've seen the best of Kirby, so I can't wait to see what he does tonight, and maybe this year will be different for him.
Was he saying he's a control freak and that he wants to control everything around him, or was he talking about his command of pitches? He's got great control because he doesn't walk anybody.
Yeah,
he's got more starts in his career than he's got walks in his career.
Right.
Maybe that was a joke.
Yeah,
he's a control freak.
Yeah. So, but I took it more of that he wants to call his own pitches. But maybe you're right.
Yeah,
he literally is a control freak because he's really good at it.
Yeah, he doesn't want the ball to get away from him on any level. And that is a guy that you were sort of encouraging before to get further off the plate, to try to get guys to chase, because he's always around the plate.
Yeah.
Which you'd think, isn't that a good thing? But for him, it would cost him. He'd get burned here and there because he was, going up there as a hitter. This guy's everything's gonna be around the plate. He's not gonna bounce one up there. That's not how he does it.
Yeah.
So that was something that was unique to him, to sort of encourage him to really, it was kind of like in Bull Durham, like hit the bull. Why? Because I told you to. Just do it. Just something out of character to get the guy at the plate guessing, like, okay, that's a little out of left field for this guy, but it can work with somebody with that kind of command. You're conditioned to be ready to swing because every pitch is going to be right there around the plate. Now he starts throwing it off the plate, maybe he bounces it up there, you're going to get some chase that you otherwise wouldn't. So that's going to be it'll be interesting. We'll see. First look at Kirby tonight. Again, last year started the season on the IL, so we'll see what it looks like with him, how often he's going to be the one out there calling his own pitches. We'll see. We got mean text coming up in just a couple of minutes. Again, 866-979-3776. And last thing, we were talking about this yesterday in terms of who you want to see come through. Now, if you could pick somebody else for this game, who's it important for? Is there somebody you look at and go, I think it's important that this guy has a solid game?
Cole Young.
Yeah, that was my guy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just because, he just needs as much confidence, and as they like to say, the kids these days, and Mike McDonald, he needs to stack some hits, some wins. Yeah, I think just the more confident he can get. And yeah, there's a point where you click. You know, it's like you make enough plays, and I'm comparing it to football, obviously, but I just remember that, like, getting to a point almost every season, it was like you had to start over again. But you make a couple of plays, and you're like, okay, I can do that. I can do whatever I want to do. So it didn't always work out that way for me. No. But yeah, I mean, at some point you get that kind of confidence, and you know, that's what we're looking for here. So for Cole Young, I think that would be really important for him.
Yeah, that was going to be my pick too. I mean, just look, if he's putting the ball in play and he's making outs, I can live with that. I'm sure he can too. If he's squaring it up, hitting the ball at people. Last night was rough because he was 0 for 3 or 3 Ks. So you're wondering, is he trying too hard? Is he trying to keep that momentum from spring training where he led the team in home runs? He had 6 home runs and drove in 18 in spring, a really nice spring. And he can just relax and, more importantly, understand, you know, they're not counting on you to be the one. You don't have to be the man. You got a lot of damage in front of you that can be done. You can kind of relax and fight your way through it. So yeah, I think him just come up with 1 base hit tonight. Doesn't matter. Single, just get on base.
Doesn't have to do a lot.
I think being on base would go a long way with him, just to be there. All right, whether it's a walk, a flare, I don't care. I think that's just going to kind of the weight off the shoulders for somebody like Cole Young, a young guy trying to prove himself out there. Meanwhile, Mariners' first homestand is jam-packed with epic events and matchups. You can score a Cal Raleigh 60 home run bobblehead on Saturday, thanks to Alaska Airlines. You can catch a star-powered showdown against Aaron Judge and the hated New York Yankees, who will be in town Monday through Wednesday. You can check out the complete schedule and get your tickets at mariners.com. Are you ready for Mean Text? Should we get to those, Matt? Do you feel good about it?
As ready as we'll ever be.
All right.
Ian, hit the music.
Here we go. Somebody texted in 425. Have I noticed Wyman isn't calling the listeners drunk and stoned now that he's live from a pregame party with fans? And then he called me a coward, I believe. Oh, they're a bunch of drunks. There's no question. I can see everybody's drinking.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's a bar.
Yeah,
You're supposed to drink at a bar.
Yeah, that's right. Not home alone, right?
Jeez.
Those are the, you know.
What do you...
Dave, we got this text earlier, but you have to be the one to read it.
How Dave sounds trying to use slang. Hello, fellow home slices. I've got the 411. Let's get jiggy with some marijuana cigarettes and start tripping. I like that. That's good.
That really rolled off the tongue well.
It really did. Yeah,
Hello, home
it felt so natural for me.
Well, it sounded natural, so that's good. That's good. Home slice.
Home slice.
What's up, home?
What else do we got there, Matt?
425. Who's been responsible for more car crashes, Tiger Woods or this show?
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
That was good.
We actually got quite a few about Tiger. When Tiger Woods gets in a car crash, it makes national news. But when Bob does it, it's just another Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
253 says the only tripping that Dave is doing is when he's walking up the stairs at the station. How did they know that? That must have come from an inside. That was Matt.
Didn't they put that video out? Remember
we did.
There was
where I knocked
security camera and you broke the stair.
I broke the stairs.
Did they put that out on our social media?
We did. It was a while ago.
Well, and then Adam Ray imitated it and did it over again. It was funnier somehow, of course. Anyway.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard one to top. What I liked was the reaction to it, because there's no sound, but you see Dave go, palms up in the air. It reminded me of Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite when you see him drop back to pass, throws the ball, and then he goes, puts the arms up. That was your reaction when the stair broke. What else have we got there?
425. Tiger Woods should hire a professional driver, and Dave should hire a professional translator.
All right. I love that. Do we have the expense for that? Or?
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's in the budget.
How about this, Bob? Alex from Monroe. Wyman and Bob remind me of another famous duo, Thelma and Louise, because I wish they would also drive off of a cliff.
That's good. That's good. I like that one.
We figuratively do that.
Yeah.
Drive the show off a cliff. No problem.
360. Is it true that Rick Rizzs is retiring so he no longer has to do interviews with you two?
There could be something to that.
Loves us. Rick loves us.
Even if he didn't like us, he would still act like he loved us.
That's the thing. He tells you he likes you. That's the important thing.
Don't even say that. Don't even say it.
What else do we got there?
425. How much of Adam Ray's Ron Donnelly character is just what he thinks Wyman will sound like in 3 years?
3 years? Sounds like me.
2 years.
What was the name of the high school he was saying he coached at?
Laguna High.
Laguna High?
Yeah.
No. Laguna. It was Laguna.
What was it?
Laguna.
Laguna? Laguna High.
A certain vowel switched around.
He even had a patch on his jacket that he had made.
How about this? Dave is the face of a guy who pulls around and walks into a McDonald's to actually check to see if the shake machine is broken. Bob washes his hands with gloves on. Matt doesn't need me to be mean to him. He has to be around Lefko constantly, and that has to be more hell than whatever Salk and Bob have to listen to clips of each other's shows.
Listener, you don't know how true it is.
Yeah.
At the end of I kind of lost.
Is that me? Yeah, the end was very bad. But yeah, as far as Matt being in a room with Lefko, yeah, that's probably
it's the most taxing part of this job. It really is.
It's exhausting. They're like sweating, like you had a workout.
Yeah, 4 hours. It's too much.
Do you hear him muttering behind you?
Constantly. That's why I always have my headphones on. I just have something playing at all times.
Did you probably earlier? You probably kept turning around, going, "What?" I'm sorry. Realized he's not speaking to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to defend Lefko.
Why? He's not here.
You guys should know this. He's very self-defecating.
He is. That's a great quality that he's got there.
Leave him alone.
425. They should never let Dave hold the trident. The Mariners' insurance does not cover nautical-themed stabbings.
Dave would use it as a javelin. Let's see where it sticks.
Maybe like I would fall down and it would like cut Cal Raleigh's Achilles tendon or something.
Yeah, you couldn't be around people with that. They'd have to set it up against the wall. Everybody clear the area. Then you go pick it up and.
Imagine if that happened, I'd be like enemy number one.
You would be unsafe. Yeah.
425. I'm not in favor of replacement refs in the NFL, but I would be willing to accept them if they led to replacement hosts for this show.
There you go.
Well done. Well done. Where do you think they would go to get the candidates?
Good question.
Any bus stop in the city.
A junior high.
Let's see. 360 said, listening to Bob and Dave is like listening to two uncles arguing over who forgot the dip at the Super Bowl party.
What else we got?
360. The Mariners' season is over. They're on pace to go 0 for 162 games, but at least Canzone is going to hit 324 home runs.
That'll be a story. That'll be good. Saw that one earlier.
Here's an idiot from the 360. You don't know bleep.
That's it?
That's it. Very creative. Numbnuts.
Let's see. Matt is the only reason to listen to the show when he ends it, says Wally from Snoqualmie.
It really is the best part of the job.
Ending the show.
Hit the next button and just running out the door.
What is this one from Matt? Wyman, the namesake for tile toe syndrome? I'm not familiar with that.
Tile toe?
Yeah.
I think he's saying you got an injury when you kicked the stairs and broke them.
Tile toe. There you go. There you go.
Instead of like turf toe. Okay, gotcha.
Somebody telling you not to defend Lefko. He adds an I to Jaguars. Is that what they're saying? So thus, he is not to be defended, Dave.
Well, he was really taking it hard there. I could tell. You were getting after him, so I did defend him.
You felt like he was somewhere hearing this, taking it the wrong way?
Yeah, crying himself to sleep, rocking back and forth.
Oh, trust me, you're gone next week. He's going to be begging the listeners to just savage you with a mean text.
Oh, I know. I hear it every time he fills in. If I happen to, get in the car, yeah, it's all about me. So you're right. Maybe I shouldn't defend him. How about it?
Yeah. Let him have it.
253. Matt is so annoying he could make a Happy Meal cry. and I have made many a Happy Meal cry.
It's like, remember when Ray Zabel said tonight's a bad night for Busch Lights?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's a rough night.
It's a bad day for Happy Meals.
Dave's favorite symbol right there.
Much. I love that.
Do you have a good one to end on there, Matt?
Sure. Let me find one. Joe and Bellevue. Max Crosby and Dave Wyman are on the same NFL level. They both failed to trade physical.
That is true.
There you go.
That is true.
All right. Our thanks to Rick Rizzs, Paul Moyer, and Gary Hill for joining us on the program. If you missed any part of today's show, you can find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Have a great weekend, everybody. We will talk to you on Monday with Wyman and Bob.
It's the biggest development yet since the Sonics left for OK.
Wait a minute. You better watch your mouth, sunshine.
One step closer.
The NBA Board of Governors did vote yes to explore expansion here in Seattle.
Stay up on the very latest on the NBA's potential return to Seattle at seattlesports.com. And the conversation continues on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
We are on a magic carpet ride. High five. Up top.
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah!
It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping. Woo!
For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Hour and a half drive here. To have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Ever notice how your floors still look dirty even after you mop?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Swiffer Power Mop gives you a deeper clean you can actually see.
I'm listening.
Unlike string mops, Swiffer Power Mop absorbs more dirt and locks it away, even in those hard-to-reach spots.
Like behind the toilet?
Exactly. The new micro scrubbers deliver thousands of tiny deep cleaning actions, so your floors look, smell, and feel clean.
Bye-bye, dirty floors. Hello, Swiffer Power Mop.
Try the Swiffer Power Mop. Love it or your money back.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry. This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax free edition only. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is tax.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax free edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
The deadline for filing taxes is coming up. Don't miss this chance to donate your car to Cars for Kids for a 2026 tax deduction. Go to carsforkids.org today. That's cars with a K. Don't wait. Donate now and have your car picked up by tomorrow.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Seattle Sports.
Home is more than a place to live.
It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Your old water heater's starting to peter. DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In